Hello and welcome to Talking Dogs TV. It's the very first in our new initiative, and I hope you are going to enjoy some really top-class racing here at Shelbourne Park and, of course, Limerick. 25 races in all we'll be bringing you this evening. 12 quality races here at Shelbourne, while at Limerick we'll have the opening round heats of the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial. Some of the best greyhounds imaginable in action over the next few weeks. Of course, joining me tonight, well, we'll have a full team, but more introductions later. Before then, of course, we're all about the racing. 25 of them in all, and the first is coming up very soon indeed. Let's go over to Robert in the commentary box, our man for the evening. Robert, looking forward to it, I hope.
Yeah, what a night in Prospect, Ian. As you said, breaking ground for Irish Greyhound Racing, and just as he said it, it's all about the racing, and greyhounds are going into traps for our opening race of the night, the A3525. So loading underway for this opening A3525. We've got the likes of Highview Session in trap 1 for Patsy and Jerry Merriman, and no doubt Graham Holland will have a big chance, not just in this opening race, but of course he's got big chances at Shelbourne and indeed at Limerick. And Ballymac Cooper, well, he should be the star attraction here at Shelbourne Park. But they're all in for our opening race of the night, big night on Talking Dogs TV. And the hare is running for our opening race. In 1, Highview Session, 2 is Rammer's Jet, 3 is Early Hours, 4 Rural Rose, 5 is Jack's Lockup, and 6 is the second of the middle seeds, and that's Leinster Leo. And away they go, 2 as well away. That's Ramor's Jet. Up in the inside is Highview Session trying to get a run on 3. Early Hours now getting into full swing and kicks clear off the second bend. So Early Hours for Neil O'Connell leads by 3. Make that 4 from 6 Leinster Leo. And they've kicked on from the remainder, which is headed by Highview Session and 2 Ramor's Jet. But into the third bend, Early Hours still leads. 6 is trying to close the gap, Leinster Leo. And 2 Ramor's Jet is also staying on. Off the final bend, Early Hours is still the one to catch. Ramor's Jet is trying to cut him down the whole time. And he's just going to get there in the closing stages. Ramor's Jet for Georgina Gibbons gets there in the closing stages to deny the long-time leader Early Hours. A cracking finish to our opening race, and the winning time of that opening race is 29:20.
Yes, indeed. Well, as they say in football, it really is a game of two halves. Here you see Ramor's Jet come away strongly in the blue jacket. And, well, at this stage it looked like a leading pretender, but as you can see, Highview Session getting up his inside. It looked like 2 Ramor's Jet was almost waiting for the traffic, found himself in a bit of bother, and all of a sudden Early Hours was left a mile clear. He's gone on by 4 or 5 lengths here to 6 Leinster Leo, but just back into your shot now, you'll see trap 2, Ramor's Jet, showing plenty of pace, this son of Droopy's Jet, and of course former classic winner Kathleen's Holly starting to close up the inside, and he really does finish with a wet sail. A dog that, well, seemed to have lost his chance at the opening corner, but very strong indeed, came storming through in the closing yards and got there to land the spoils. 29:20 the winning time, 16:56 to the third bend. An awful lot to like about the display there of trap 2 Ramor's Jet, and congratulations to Georgina Gibbons, the lucky owner. Yes, indeed. Well, welcome to Talking Dogs TV. As I did say to you earlier on, we have our introductions now. Talking Dogs started quite a while ago. It started in print in Ireland's Greyhound Weekly. In recent times, it's been, of course, in digital version on the GRI website, a part of which I'm lucky to be involved with the likes of Barry Drake and Peter Farrell. But in recent times, and in more recent times should I say, and more specifically since the pandemic kicked in, well, we've been going a bit more digital. Podcasts, vlogs, we have Talking Dogs on a Monday with myself in the Exile Dub, we have the podcast with Barry Drake, Talking Dogs podcast on a Thursday, and of course On Track with Rory. It's great that you're here. Remember to stay with us for the remainder of the evening. We've got some brilliant racing to look forward to, but as we said, it's the Con Annie Kirby Memorial time. Over to Limerick.
Trap 1, our first winner tonight, Patrick Ilfile, trains Explosive Boy for Peter Sutcliffe. Trap 1. Rural Star in the blue for Helen O'Dwyer and Emily. Also a runner for trainer Graham Holland. Trap 3, Billy's Tudor. Next up, owned and trained by Paula Heffernan in Kildare, trap 4, Victor. Also for the Heffernans, we have trap 5, Envoy. Our final runner in the opening heat is for Kevin O'Brien of Clonakilty, trained by Tom O'Neill, Clona Bolt.
And so we're after seeing the runners for the opening heat of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. And we are after picking our three eye catchers to look forward to in this contest. And the three I chose, well, first up is Explosive Boy. This fellow is certainly living up to his name. Owned by Peter Sutcliffe and trained by Pat Guilfoyle, a leading handler, of course. The son of Good News, delightful girl, massive early speed. He was a finalist in the National Puppy Stake, but in recent times he's been sprinting. And then in his last start, 28.35 at Limerick, that sort of form would see him go far in this competition. Next, we're going to take a look at Rural Star, one of the standout performers in the Rural Hawaii. It stood unraced stake down at Clonmel. Unlucky to go out in the semi-finals, but have no doubt this is a greyhound with a very, very bright future indeed. The son of Sonic and Rural Aloha, trained by Graham Holland. Helen O'Dwyer and Emily O'Dwyer own this one, and I'm sure Michael O'Dwyer is watching on from Hawaii. And out in 6, we have to mention Clona Bolt. This fellow, a real eye catcher at Shelbourne Park last time out, despite his inexperience, beating some really classy performers over 600 yards. Cracking race. Joe is going to be joining us from Limerick. Have a look at this one, Joe. What's your thoughts?
Well, welcome to Limerick Greyhound Stadium, folks. A fascinating night of action we have ahead of us. Explosive Boy, Ian, as you said, explosive by name, explosive by nature. What a fantastic performance he put in Limerick just a few weeks ago. He won the race in 28.35. He done 16.03 to the third bend. If he repeats that, I don't think he's going to be caught. As you say, Rural Star for the O'Dwyers watching over from Hawaii. He put in a good shift, 28.47 the last day. Billy's Shooter, about 2 weeks ago, moved kennels to Graham Holland. I was talking to Timmy this morning, and this is a dog who put in
way to kick off the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. Some really top class performers in this one, and hopefully we're going to see a tremendous performance. The three we didn't mention, of course, Billis Tudor, Victor and Envoy, all capable of big run also, so fingers crossed they all come off safe and sound. We'll head over now to Mallet, Limerick for the opening heat of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial for 2021.
Green flag raised. 1 Explosive Boy, 2 Rural Star, 3 Billy's Tudor, 4 is Victor, 5 Envoy, 6 Clona Bolt. And the Kirby is underway for 2021. Explosive Boy, the strong favourite, leads comfortably through to the opening couple of turns. Top 4 is Victor in second, 2 is third, Rural Star. We're well down the back stretch in the opening heat here. It's 1, 4, 6 and 2. Trap 1 Explosive Boy setting a strong pace here for trainer while heading towards the final bend. It's one with a decent lead here off that final turn. The battle is on for the qualification spots. 1, 6 and 2 come through. 1 wins Explosive Boy for Pat Guilfoyle. Clona Bolt and Rural Star also qualify. The winning time of Heat 1, 28.08.
Well, explosive by name and certainly explosive by nature. He absolutely rocketed from the inside. We've seen him do this on numerous occasions. Victor going up very well in second for Paula Heffernan, but he was to be the unlucky dog in the contest. Just keep an eye on 6 here, Clona Bolt, showing massive pace to pass Rural Star down the back straight, but it was all about Explosive Boy. This fellow setting an incredible 15.87 to the third bend. I dare say that's up there with the fastest ever done at Limerick. 6 Clona Bolt coming through for second. 4, very much the meat in the sandwich as Rural Star came through into third. But Explosive Boy, what a great way to kick off the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. I dare say you could call it explosive. Clona Bolt second, and back in third was Rural Star, 28.08, and well and truly a great way to kick off what should be a tremendous competition. Joe, that was impressive. Joe in just a moment or two. He is actually trying to grab an interview after that incredible display by Explosive Boy. Just take one more look at it. We won't feature an Explosive Boy as much this time. Just keep an eye on the dogs in behind. Clona Bolt Racing from Trap 6 just did get a little bit outpaced in the early yards. Just keep that in mind in the future rounds. Trap 2 Rural Star was turning in third spot, looked to be in a qualifying position at that point, but 6 Clona Bolt really did show incredible pace down that back straight to get into second spot. And here you see Trap 4 Victor. Well, he really was the meat in the sandwich, as we said just a few moments ago. Rural Star forcing his way through into third spot, but Explosive Boy was just really in a league of his own. That was a sensational display, and I dare say it's going to take some running to beat that. So we are heading over to Joe now. I believe he has someone to talk to.
Well, Pat, explosive by name, explosive by nature. 15.87 to the third win. What a performance! 28.08. I was just saying, 15.87. What a split!
Yeah, it was an incredible run. Like he's got great early pace. He's a dog who's only kind of coming to himself now. So yeah, I'd say the track is running well there tonight. Though I'd say you'll see a fair few runs coming close to 28. But yeah, look, he's a really good pup, and so we took him very handy until now. So hopefully he'll go well in the stake.
You had him sprinting in Thurles. Was there kind of method?
Well, the Greyhounds are on parade for our second race of the night here at Shelbourne, this A2 525. First on parade is Droopy's Flourish for John Coleman and Mert Lahey, winner of 3 from 12 starts and one of 4 females in this second race. Trap 2 is Rafa's Tiger for the GDG Syndicate, a 2-time winner from 7 starts, a son of Ballymac Vic, favoured around here at Shelbourne for a number of years. 3 is Cost Flower for Paula Cross, a 3-time winner from 13 starts, his daughter of Droopy Sydney. 4 is Silver Hair Karen for Eugene Buckley and Graham Holland, a winner from one of its 3 starts, her 3 starts. She's a daughter of Ballymac Gasky. She's one for the shortlist here, no doubt. 5 is Ballymac Ice Cool for George Roach, a 2-time winner from 8 starts, and this son of Ballymac Matt will be really gearing up from halfway. And in 6, the only middle seed is Roxholm Socks for Haley and the Glory Boys Syndicate, trained by Martin Laddie, a 4-time winner from 18 starts. Very seldom runs a bad race, this daughter of Farlow Blitz, and has proven over 750. So if Roxholm Socks is anyway close at halfway, her rivals better watch out. So that's our second race of the night here at Shelbourne, and Greyhounds will be going to traps in a couple of minutes' time.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're going to take a look at our ones to watch in this contest. We're going to start with Trap 1, Droopy's Flourish, trained by Mert Lahey, who had an incredible 1-2 last night in the McCalmont Cup at Kilkenny. Of course, Mert's dogs have been flying for some months at this stage, and this well-bred daughter of Law Hill Blake and Droopy's Berry has 3 wins in her card from 12 starts. If she repeats her best Kilkenny form, she certainly has the draw to play a big part in proceedings. Also a 28.87 winner here at Shelbourne Park back on October 13th. Moving on, our second dog to watch here is Trap... beg your pardon, our second dog here to watch is Trap 2, Rafa's Tiger, owned by the GDG Syndicate. This son of Ballymac Vic and Rafa Baby's Baby has 2 wins from 7 outings, both his victories coming at Tralee, but a couple of runs in defeat here. 28.85 on February 13th would put him into the mix. And the last of the dogs we're going to take a quick look at here is Trap 6, and that is Roxholm Socks for Martin Lanning and the Haley and the Glory Boys Syndicate. As Rob did suggest on parade, this one has winning form over further, certainly a stout stare, but she can also go up reasonably well, and she is well drawn. Trap 5, Ballymac Ice Cool, would certainly prefer a rails pitch in this contest, so perhaps Roxholm Socks could represent a bit of value on the tote for those getting involved. Rob, it's an open looking contest. It is an A2 affair, not an awful lot between them on the clock. Any choices yourself?
Yeah, it's an A2 affair, Ian, but it's a very good A2 affair. And I suppose if you look at 3, 4, 5 and 6, they're all proven greyhounds with stamina, so if any of them are in the mix from halfway, whoever's in front is going to have to watch out. As you said, Roxholm Socks, she can go up well, but I suppose Rafa's Tiger on that one's early sectionals, that's probably the likely leader. But this is going to be another tight finish with a really good finish to the opening race here at Shelbourne, and I'd say the judge might be called for the photo in our second race coming up shortly.
Yeah, indeed. Well, one we didn't actually mention our ones to watch is Silverhill Karen for Graham Holland. This one had suffered traffic problems in his last 2 starts, but has shown plenty of pace. Will need to brush up in its starting, especially with Trap 5 Ballymac School likely to edge inwards in the early yards. So just keep an eye on that. But once again, just like to reference that tremendous performance last night by Mert Lahey, sending out the first and second in the McCalmont Cup. Dark Devil seeing off his kennel companion Sawdust Pleaser. And if any of the Lahey family are watching on, well, congratulations to you. A great final. As you can see, the dogs now making their way behind boxes for this second race here tonight at Shelbourne Park. The Barking Buzz app, A2525, and that brings me nicely to the Barking Buzz app. Don't forget, you can get involved in all the tote proceedings here on the Barking Buzz app. Trios tonight will be guaranteed throughout the evening, so make sure you get involved, and perhaps you might just cover the price of the stream. Anyway, Rob, over to you. They are going to traps fairly quickly now for this second race, due off at 7:15, and by my watch, we're just about on that mark.
Yeah, we sure are. The loading is getting underway. Half of the 6 runners have already been placed in traps, and no doubt the remaining 6 will join them, and then we'll be ready to rock for our second race here at Shelbourne. Of course, straight after this A2 at Shelbourne, we'll be going back to Limerick for the second of our first round heats in the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. Right, they're all in for our second race of the night here at Shelbourne, this A2525. In 1, Droopy's Florist. 2 is Raffles Tiger. 3, Cosflower. In 4 is Silver Hill Karen. 5 is Ballymac Ice Cool. And in 6, the Solwide Steed. And the proven stayer, Rocks Home Socks. And away they go. One's welched away. That's Droopy's Florist on the inside. Moves a little bit to its right, and that allows 2, Raffles Tiger, to get up the inside. So off the second bend, and Droopy's Florist leads by a couple of lengths from Raffles Tiger. But look at Rocks Home Socks, turns third and must be a huge challenger to the 2 in front, but into the third bend. And this is where Droopy's Florist is being challenged by Raffles Tiger. But watch behind, because Rocks Home Socks is absolutely flying. Goes to the inside of Raffles Tiger, and as Droopy's Florist in her sights, it's Droopy's Florist on the far side, Rocks Home Socks in the near side. But if nothing is gained, this Droopy's Florist has made all for Mert Lahey and manages to do it in fairly battling fashion in a winning time of 28.92. The break was crucial, and Droopy's Florist has managed to make all.
Yes, indeed. If you have a fast starter in the red jacket here at Shelbourne Park, well, it's half the job done. And a lot of Mert Lahey's dogs are very good in the early yards. This one hadn't led in the opening strides in her previous few outings, but on this occasion she timed it perfectly, shot up the inside. Trap 2, Raffles Baby, in fairness, did show good early speed to challenge in second spot. Tried its best to challenge to the third bend, but once he didn't lead at this point, well, his race was cooked. Instead, we looked further back to Rocks Home Socks, who did start to the fly at this point. It's about 3 lengths behind as they turned for home, but it swung wide and won. Droopy's Florist stayed tight to the fence, and in fairness, it remained about 3 lengths on the winning line. A good victory for Droopy's Florist. Rob, you must have been impressed with that. Droopy's Florist away and gone, 28.92. A lot to like about it.
Yeah, and as you said, the break was always going to be crucial. We'll have a look again. Really was the only one who hit the list. 3 was well away, Cosflower, but Droopy's Florist has shown good early, moved a little bit to her right, but as you've said, she is a proven stayer. She's managed to do well down in Kilkenny when she won from off the pace. So I suppose at this stage it was going to take a really good effort from the likes of Rocks Home Socks to reel her in. Raffles Tiger's run well to the third bend, but it's at this stage that Rocks Home Socks is the main danger. I thought off the final bend Rocks Home Socks just might reel in this leader, but in fairness she's railed well, and she's ticked all the boxes. She broke well, she stayed well, and that's so crucial around here at Shelbourne.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Rob. We're going to go straight over to Limerick now with Mal, because they are already on parade for the second heat of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial.
Appreciate it. Trap 2, trained by Graham Holland for his 13 and Me Syndicate, Navy Blue. Local runner for Michael Gamel here in Limerick, Glengar Masha, number 3. Our likely favourite is next up in the black jacket, Ballymac Merlin for Liam Dowley. Followed by Waikiki Bomber for the Leamy Brine Syndicates and trainer Peter Cronin. Our final runner, the second heat, Racket Hole Leo, owned and trained in Tipperary with Liam McGrath.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's time we took a look at our ones to watch in this second heat of the Kirby Memorial. And the first we're going to take a look at is Trap 2, Navy Blue. This one caught the eye at Shelbourne Park in its third last start. That was a 28.46 victory. Brilliant performance by this well-bred son of Superior Protestant Global Liberty, trained by Graham Holland. Of course, Graham trained a couple of this one's half-comrades, the likes of Slippy Keane and Lenson Blinder to pass. Very talented indeed. This one really getting to grips with the game. Can do it all, but just needs to get its trapping right. The next we're going to take a look at is Ballymacmerlan. This fellow reached the third round of the Juvenile Classic down at Tralee. Very well bred, a son of Vulturia and Ballymacbell for Liam Dowling, who is such a powerful team. And on to the final ones of our we're going to take a look at is Racket Hall Leo. This fellow weighing in a whopping 89 pounds, no less. Not the fastest of starters, lacks a yard of early, but he does stay on strongly. But he does have a very, very big frame indeed, and don't be surprised if he pushes out one or two of his rivals if need be. Now let's head over to Joe. I believe he has his thoughts on this second heat himself.
Thank you, Ian. Yeah, very open contest in this one. Navy blue, of course, for Graham Holland for the 13 and Me Syndicate. There's 14 people involved with Syndicate, and I'd love to give Syndicate a shout out, and it would be great to see them have some success. He's 2 from 6 and some excellent staying on performances in Shelbourne Park. 28.46 his best run there. Racket Hall Leo, as you mentioned, an 89-pound dog. Well, this fella can stay, and I think if you can stay in Limerick, it's really a track that suits a stayer. Kiki Bomber, of course, for Peter Crone, one of his 4 runners tonight, put in an impressive display last time out in Waterford in 28.91. Ballymacmerlan out of 4 for Liam Dowling, 28.71 winner, first time out in Tralee. And I guess you just have to fancy Dowling. He knows how to have him primed for competitions like this. Yeah, so Ballymacmerlan would be my selection for this one. Racket Hall Leo, I expect to be there at the business end of things, and coming off the pace and finishing strongly. Or maybe between Ballymacmerlan and Racket Hall Leo. And appreciate it. Let's not forget for Brendan Matthews, who of course won this competition 2 years in a row with Cable Bay and Boyle Sports Hero. He knows how to have him primed for the Con Annie Kirby. But it's a very, very open heat.
Yeah, never a truer word so there, Joe. We have a really good contest to look forward to. Perhaps not the star names that we saw in the opening heat. Of course, Explosive Boy winning the opening heat in 28.08. An incredible performance. Interesting to see if anyone can get close to that. If they do and go past it, well, they won't be too far off the track record, which is 27.95. Not to put any pressure on these 6 runners. Meanwhile, let's join Mal for the second heat of the Kirby Memorial.
Green flag raised on the inside, appreciated. Navy blue, Glengar Masha, Ballymacmerlan, with Kiki Bomber, Racket Hall Leo. The favourite is 4, Ballymacmerlan, breaks moderately. The lead held early on by trap 5 with Kiki Bomber onto the second bend. 5 in front, 3 improves Glengar Masha. On the outside, going okay, trap 6, Racket Hall Leo. The favourite Ballymacmerlan has it all to do. 3 automatic qualifiers. 6 is our leader, Racket Hall Leo, going towards the final bend from 5 and 3. Trap 6, Racket Hall Leo, going towards the line, will win. 6, 5 and 4 does qualify. Winning time here, 28.45. Racket Hall Leo for trainer Liam McGrath, Tipperary.
Yeah, well, this was another fine display. Racket Hall Leo, well, he may be the size of a racehorse, but he also has the stride of a racehorse. You can see him lacks a yard of early speed, but as the rest of the field did sort of edge towards the rail, he got a clear run, and he enters the back straight in second spot. Out front, though, it is 5 Waikiki Bomber, who showed plenty of early dash. 28.91 winner at Waterford in his previous start, but on this occasion, just no match to Racket Hall Leo. This massive son of Tara Big Mike, owned by Liam McGrath, really striding out impressively. Further behind, you'll see 4, Ballymacmerlan staying on strongly to grab third. But a fine display by Racket Hall Leo. I'm not sure if we'll see the Kirby winner coming out of that heat, but no question there were some really talented types there. Joe, over to you for the second replay.
Thank you, Ian. Racket Hall Leo, what a stunning performance by him. You know, an 89-pound dog, and he's only had 3 races. Tonight was his 4th race. And with a dog like that, a young dog who's that kind of size, you're going to be taking your time with him, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's a lot more to come from this fella. He just picked him off as if they weren't there. Real striding out, massive stride. And Limerick is a kind of track, it takes a staying dog with that big galloping stride. And it's a real massive advantage to have around here. With Kiki Bomber ran well as well, of course, and of course Ballymacmerlan. for Liam Dowling. Expect that one to be improving as well throughout the competition. But Racket Leo hadn't shown that much early in its first couple of races, but tonight hopped away out well and stayed up with the pace, and I think that was the key to his success tonight. He stayed up with the pace, he avoided any traffic or congestion, and coming approaching the third bend, it was almost as if the trap 5 wasn't even there, just passed him out. And real impressive performance, 28.45. That was a very, very nice clock for a dog who hadn't really come within 4 or 5 lengths of that in his races thus far. So very, very impressed by him, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot more to come from him.
Yeah, worth pointing out that he had finished second to Bombardier the last time out, beaten 3 lengths, but on that occasion he did stay on strongly. And Racket Hully, it seems no question that this is a dog with a bright future. His size is an issue, of course. He is 86 or 87, 88 pounds. I'm not sure where he's going to settle. 89 pounds in his latest start. They did tend to edge inwards in the early yards, and it's just worth pointing out, if you take a look at it, that Navy Blue did get a bit lost around those opening corners. He hadn't had the look around Limerick, and of course it just goes to show that local knowledge may help throughout the evening. Well, meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, they are getting ready to go to traps, or go to on parade, should I say, for this third race here tonight. We are moving on pretty quick. We were already 4 races down. This is the 5th of them. It's a decent little A2 contest yet again. Trap 6 is a non-runner, Sparta Flash, and this is to be replaced by... beg your pardon, I don't have the reserve in front of me, but it is to be replaced, needless to say. In this one, well, we'll let Rob take them through the runners.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. Greyhounds are parading for our third race, the A2525, and first on parade is Whitewood Axel for Laura Erla, a one-time winner from 8 starts, son of Batsy Sabbath, and it's got the ideal draw in the red jacket. 2 is You Have No Idea for Richard Flanagan and Mary Gilbert, a really consistent daughter of Taylor Skye, an 8-time winner from 34 starts, and has already accumulated nearly €5,000 in prize money. He's got a big chance here. 3 is Go On Jacko for the Samosa Syndicate, and Cheltenham Festival winning trainer Paul Hennessy, the first of his 2 runners here tonight at Shelbourne, a 5-time winner from 37 starts. 4 is Burgess Massey for Vincent Desmond and trainer Martin Lanny, a daughter of Good News and Paradise Summer, a 5-time winner from 26 runs. 5 is Highview Wins for Patsy and Jerry Merriman in Croghan County Offaly, a 4-time winner from 12 starts. Ran well despite encountering traffic here on its most recent start. And 6, as Ian said, is the reserve House of Illusion for trainer Liam O'Rourke, and this one wears the stripes in our third race. So it's an A2525, and it looks as though Greyhounds will be going to traps in a couple of minutes' time.
Yeah, well, we still have a little bit of time to look through our ones to watch. We haven't quite settled on the right term for it yet. For the moment, they are the ones to watch. I'm sure there's something wittier and more puntastic out there. The first we're going to go with is Whitewood Axel. This one owned and trained by Laura Earl down in Wexford. A good early speed. We referenced Global Liberty just a few moments ago down at Limerick, and this one, a very well bred son of Patsy Sabbath and Global Liberty. Some fine form around the country. 28.71 on its card at Waterford, and has run well here in the past. Picked up in 28.60, was beaten 2 lengths back in August of last year. But I put this one in the mix because it is very well housed on the fence, and it's capable of going up strongly on the inside. The next we're going to take a look at is Go On Jacko. This fellow hit a bit of a purple patch earlier in the year here at Shelbourne Park. Always capable of a good start. He has wins here in 28.89 and 28.99, and in the past he has won in 28.58 here. Of course, that did come in August 10th 2019, so I'm not sure how much that form is relevant these days. And the last we're going to take a look at is Trap 6, but of course that is a reserve, so we won't be too concerned about Trap 6 Sparta Flash, because it is a non-runner. But this third race, it's worth looking forward to. It's yet another A2, this is the second A2 of the night, and we'll be going over to Robert in just a moment for this contest. Rob, off the card, anything that catches your eye?
Yeah, well, I suppose we have to mention the Trap 2, You Have No Idea, because if breeding was anything to go by, she'd be a short price favourite. Of course, her mum is Siderian Pearl. You'll remember back in 2016, she got to an Irish Derby final. She managed to win a Christmas Oaks. She was third in the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. And of course, she's responsible for Agent Stanley down in Limerick for Mary and Skippy a little bit later. And as he said, she's already accumulated nearly €5,000 in prize money. She's unbelievably consistent. 8 wins from 34 starts and another 13 places after that, so she's one for the shortlist. You mentioned Paul Hennessy's charge, Go On Jacko. Okay, it was the summer of 2019, but if he can repeat that section of 199, you'd expect him to lead early. But a really good A2 for a standard A2. I think it's probably a little bit better than what it says in the tin.
Yeah, good man, Robert. You're doing plenty of showing off there, needless to say. Siderian Pearl, she was a special tracker, no question about it. Of course, Trap 1 is out of a Brood Bitch of the Year. How'd you like them apples? Anyway, we're going to go back to Rob now in just a moment for this third race. The Rossiach Conhéran 82525. And as we said, it is an open enough contest. Very much depends on which of these gets the first run. Trap 2, you have no idea, has been running well, but flanked by two good starters. Let's join Robert once again.
Well, Greyhounds nearly all in for our third race of the night. This Rossny Con Aaron 82525, and another intriguing contest. They're all in. And the hare running for a third race of the night. And 1 Whitewood Axel, 2 You Have No Idea, 3 is Go On Jacko, 4 is Burgess Macy, 5 is Highview Wins, and 6 is the reserve House of Illusion. And away to go. It's another level break. 5 showing good early. Highview Wins, but not as good as Whitewood Axel up the inside. And it's these two who are going to lead into the opening 2 bend. So on the inside, Whitewood Axel kicks off the second bend, 2 lengths in front over Highview Wins. 4 Burgess Macy's now getting into gear. And then we've got You Have No Idea, but into the third bend. And it's still Whitewood Axel bidding to make most, but being challenged now by Highview Wins round the outside for the Merrimans. And this is where Highview Wins kicks off the final bend. And this is surely over, bar the shouting. It's a win for County Offaly. Highview Wins wins for Patsy Merriman and Jerry Merriman. In second, it's tight between 4 and 1, but a good winner in Highview Wins. That's 5 wins from 13 starts, and he's managed to do it in a winning time of 28.64.
Wins a good start on this occasion, hasn't quite made that start in recent outings, but once clearing the bend, it was always going to be close enough to challenge Whitewood Axel, who in fairness in the past has led here and been picked up. So Highview Wins, having been beaten in 28.99 and 28.53 in recent starts and doing a bit of running late, well, it was clear down to the third bend it was just going to be too strong for Trap 1. Whitewood Axel took charge on that third bend and raced on well to win for Paddy Merriman and Jerry Merriman. Not the first winner they've had here at Shelbourne Park over the years. 28.64 off 50 or 16.37. A fine display by Highview Wins. That was its 5th career victory. Congratulations to all involved with Highview Wins. A lot to like about that. Now we'll take a look at another replay, and this time Robert will bring you in.
Yeah, Ian, you called it right at the start. You said Whitewood Axel was the most likely leader, but Highview Wins pretty much matched him. He matched him to the first bend, and once he was close off the second bend, it was probably going to be a case of he just needed to get round at the third bend. 4 is running well at this stage. That's Burgess Macy, and You Have No Idea. Well, once that one didn't lead, it was always going to be difficult. But at the third bend, that's where Highview Wins made its telling move. And once he managed to hit the front, there was only going to be one winner. And it's a nice winner for Patsy and Jerry Merriman, because Patsy's been a little bit under the weather. So no doubt when the news gets to him in Croghan County Offaly, it'll cheer him up, because you said it's not the first and it won't be the last winner that they've had here at Shelbourne. 28.64, a good time tonight.
Just let you know, folks, that phone ringing in the background, this is how live we are. That's actually the judge ringing Robert, who then inputs the result, which goes live on Barking Buzz, and that's the way it works here at Shelbourne Park. I answer that phone 12 times a night, 3 times a week. I can tell you something. Sometimes they surprise you, sometimes not. 5 is a winner there. Simple as that. No need to tell us the result. Highview Wins. Meanwhile, they'll be going on parade in just a moment for the next heat of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. There you can see them. Let's join Mal. Another cracking contest to look forward to.
Reserve A, Bling Bling Pole, comes in to run in Trap 1. That's for trainer John Meehan of Newmarket on Fergus Clare. To Thurles in Tipperary for Trap 2, Good Cody, John Kennedy. Liam Downing has Ballymac Belvolt this time, number 3. Our 4th runner is Lohar Ron, owned and trained in Tralee by Noel O'Leary. Trap 5, good track record at Shelbourne. Deadly Destroyer is for Gary Hannon and trainer Carl Ramsbottom. Trap 6, All for the Best, the HDJ Syndicate of Bree.
to look through our eye catchers in this contest. And the first one to take a look at is Good Cody, owned and trained by John Kennedy Jr. This very well-bred son of Definite Opinion and Soho Arc really did catch the eye in the early rounds of the Juvenile Classic, showing good pace in both his first and second round. Badly balked in the third round. This is his first start outside Tralee, but a good 28.61 trial here at Limerick last time out. And the way John Kennedy's been going over the last while, he certainly want to keep an eye on. 3, Ballymac Belvote, a dog with immense pace. This fellow, not the fastest in the early yards, wants the fence, but if he's close at halfway, just keep an eye on him. He did trial here at Limerick, which will stand in his finish. Of course, this fellow starring in the Juvenile Classic, where he finished second. And the last one we're going to take a quick look at is Deadly Destroyer, racing from 5. This fellow won a trial stake at Shelbourne Park for the Kirby. He also won the Dennis Linen Solicitors unraced stake at Cork and was a semi-finalist in the Best Car Park Skull Cup at Shelbourne. Really coming to hand for Carl Ramsbottom and Gary Hannon. Joe, you have a moment or two to give us your thoughts.
Thank you, Ian. Well, a name I really love is All for the Best. It's a strong running dog, and I think it could be in the mix, maybe one to qualify for the next few rounds. Good Cody, of course, for the Kennedys. They've a powerful team here, three dogs coming down. Ballymac Belvote, who ran up second to Sing Along Sally in the Tralee Unraced Juvenile Classic final. That was a stellar performance, and I think Belvote will take an awful lot of beating here. Deadly Destroyer, of course, for Carl's Ramsbottom, went round in 28.32 in Shelbourne the last day. If he can transport his farm from Shelbourne to Limerick, he will definitely be involved at the business end of things.
Yes, indeed. Great race to look forward to. Let's go straight to Mal for Heat 3 of the Kirby Memorial. Well, no sign of Mal, so into the opening corner it is Deadly Destroyer, gets around the bend, trouble in behind for 4, lower on and 6 all for the best, but out front and Deadly Destroyer is on by 6-7 lengths to 1 in second. Bling Bling Paul, the reserve, back in third, now 3. Ballymac Belvote start to wind up his challenge, but he's going to have to go some because 5, Deadly Destroyer, is clear off the final bend for Gary Hannon and Carol Ramsbottom. Mighty impressive. Deadly Destroyer wins in fine style. In second spot, 3, Ballymac Belvote, and back in third was 1, Bling Bling Paul. Fantastic display by Deadly Destroyer, certainly doing it right. 28.36 off 16.19. Very impressive by this son of Droopy's Jet. Yeah, well, this was another contest that was pretty much over in the early yards. 5, Deadly Destroyer, got to the front, cut the corner, 2 ran off, and all of a sudden there's traffic in behind. Lower run and All for the Best, nowhere to go for them. 1 is left second, Bling Bling Paul, but it was 5, Deadly Destroyer, who was clear down the back straight, stretching on impressively to the third bend. Then came 3, Ballymac Belvote into second spot, and he does stay on stoutly. He really is a powerhouse in second spot, but there was no catching trap 5, Deadly Destroyer. 28.36, just goes to show exactly how fast Explosive Boy was going in that opening heat. 28.08, Deadly Destroyer 28.36, but yet another brilliant performance in the Kirby. Joe, that was a very taking display.
Thank you, Ian. Yeah, brilliant display. 28.36. There's a lot to be said for early pace. He was out and gone. He really showed his Shelbourne form that he had done 28.32 in Shelbourne and transported that form to Limerick. As I said, he did that, avoided congestion, avoided any traffic, really got there in a very, very impressive display. And I'd expect a lot more to come from him. Carol Ramsbottom is a very, very shrewd handler and expect this fella to go a long way in the competition. Ballymac Belvote, well, what an eye-catching run by Belvote. Stayed on stoutly and expect more to come from him throughout the competition. And of course, in 6, All for the Best. He had a bit of traffic at the first bend, but ran on eye-catchingly well as well. Maybe at the times probably won't be good enough to qualify out of the fastest finishers. But it's all about Deadly Destroyer, and he destroyed the field tonight. Very, very slick performance, and probably more to come from him for this son of Droopy's Jet and Cruel Intentions.
Yeah, indeed. Joe didn't say it on camera, but he did tell us in his WhatsApp chat earlier on that he felt himself he was the most eligible bachelor in Irish Greyhound Racing. With that Talking Dogs jacket on, he felt he was looking pretty much irresistible. Not so sure. The hair could certainly do with some work, but Joe doing a fine work down at Limerick for us. Again, we've had 3 fine displays in the Con Annie Kirby Memorial thus far. Just to recap, the first heat won by Explosive Boy, 28.08. The second heat, Racket Hall Leo, 28.45. And that third heat, Deadly Destroyer for Carol Ramsbottom and Gary Hannon, winning very well in 28.36. Now, Joe has someone to talk to.
Hold on there for a second. Where did I put my glasses?
Carl, well done. 28.36, fantastic performance. Out and gone and away he went.
Yeah, nice run. Nice dog he is, sure. Good stake, keep qualifying the whole thing,
Were you expecting that kind of run tonight?
Look, he's a good run down in Dublin there. He ran well in Dublin, the Easter Cup final night, done something similar. Look, it's his first time round the tracks tonight, so look, you'd imagine come on a bit from him. But look, he done everything right. He has the early pace, Probably better drawn nearer the fence there. He's looking to get around the bend there. But sure, look, that's it, he got around and he's still there for next night.
If that was his first time around Limerick, there's an awful lot more to come from him, so very exciting prospect.
Look, there'd want to be more to come from him, It's the Con Kirby, they're all good dogs in it, There's
and you've one running later on, Carl. How do you rate his chances?
Look, his little brother, he was never around. He ran in Shelbourne last week. We hadn't time to give him a look around it, so qualify again, we'll be happy.
Very best of luck for you for the rest of the competition, Carl. Well done.
Lovely.
Brilliant performance.
Thanks a million. Thank you.
Well worth a trip down
Yeah,
to meet.
good interview there with Joe and Carl Ramsbottom. In Carl, Joe certainly found someone that could talk as much as him, I can promise you that. The next race here tonight at Shelbourne Park is the Talking Dogs TV 525, and just looking out my window, they're not quite on parade yet, so we'll have a brief chat about this one. It's an A1 contest. It's our best race of the night. You see in behind shot there, 1 or 2 dogs just making their way onto the parade area. The early speed very much on the outside here, 4, 5 and 6. Razzle Dazzle John, Name Tab Anubis and Balnakill Jet can all rocket to that opening corner. There's also plenty of pace on the inside too. Sunshine Hero, a decent type, so too Highview Celt, especially if it repeats his best form. And Rope Walk Boy, well, he won't be in front early, but he'd absolutely hammering home. One to watch. Rob, they're on parade.
Yeah, they are on parade indeed for our 4th race of the night, the Talking Dogs TV A1525. And first on parade is Sunshine Hero for the Virgil Van Fitzy Syndicate, trained by Ollie Bray, a 7-time winner from 30 Stute starts, a regular around here at Shelbourne, the son of Skywalker Puma, and is in the red jacket. 2 is Highview Celt, bidding to give the Merrimans in Offaly a double on the card, owned by Dolores Merriman, trained by Jerry Merriman, a 5-time winner from 17 starts, and a son of Overlimit. In 3 is Rope Walk Boy, one of the regulars here at Shelbourne Park for the Hungarian Boys Syndicate, and trainer Liam O'Rourke, a 10-time winner from 38 starts and been placed a further 19 times. He's one of the regulars that you can't beat here at Shelbourne Park. 4 is Razzle Dazzle John, this one for Nora O'Sullivan and Neelius O'Connell, 12-time winner from 44 starts, a really consistent son of Razzle Dazzle Billy and Razzle Dazzle Marlon. 5 is Name Tab Anubis for Jeffrey Bateman, trained by Jeff himself, a 20-time winner from 72 starts. He's in his 5th year, but he's still running as good as ever, the son of Lawhill Blake. And in 6 we've got Balnakill Jet for Larry Dunn and trainer Graham Holland, the 6th inside seed in this 4th race, but a big chance, son of Droopy's Jet, and if he gets loose early he could be the one to catch. So it's our 4th race, a really good A1525, and Greyhounds will be going to trap shortly.
Yeah, indeed, they're going to be traps very shortly indeed. But before then, we'll take a look at our eye catchers, the 3 I've picked to take a quick glance at. Highview Celt racing from Trap 2 for Jerry Merriman. Of course, Jerry's already had a winner here tonight in the form of Highview Wins. He's looking for a second winner in 15 minutes. This fellow, 28.31 in the past, very talented at his best, but he's lightly raced in recent times. But if he did happen to repeat his very best form, he'd be a big player. His damn Highview Beauty was a real star herself. The next we're going to take a look at is Rope Walk Boy. He's certainly not going to be in front early, but I thought he was a bit different to the dogs around him, whereas this fellow doesn't depend on an early lead. He'll be absolutely hammering home. He's owned by the curiously named Hungarian Boys Syndicate and trained by local handler Liam O'Rourke, who himself has plenty winners here at Shelbourne Park. You can nearly bet his dogs blind and come out with a profit. And the last one we're going to take a look at is in Trap 6, Balnakill Jet. This fellow very much an early pacer. If he doesn't lead, you may forget about it. I think he'll make a really top class sprinter in time. He missed the kick last week, did show plenty of pace to challenge, but didn't get to the front. On this occasion out in Trap 6, probably a bit far out for him, but Razzle Dazzle John and Name Tab Anubis will edge inwards themselves. I didn't put Name Tab Anubis in as my eye catchers, but there's an awful lot I like about him. He's one of the most game and consistent greyhounds in training. An October 16 whelp. Rob, it's a cracking little contest. The race to the corner is going to be all important. And then, of course, we're going to be taking a look back to see how close Rope Walk Boy is. Yeah, and you did say that Balnakill Jet, he might be too far out, but we saw what happened in the Easter Cup final. There was 6 inside seeds, and well, it was all over early on when Knockabula Sid managed to flash out. Really good A1525, as you said. We'll have a good idea off the second bend, and loading is now well underway for our 4th race. Highview Celt bidding to give the Merrimans a double on the card, and the likes of Sunshine Hero for Ollie Bray is well capable
of leading them a merry dance early on. Okay, all in for our fourth race of the night. This Talking Dogs TV A1525. And 1 Sunshine Hero, 2 is Highview Celt, 3 is Rope Walk Boy, 4 Razzle Dazzle John, 5 Name Tab Anubis, and in 6 is Balnakill Jet. And away they go, it's level enough. 6 is showing good early. Balnakill Jet and shows absolutely wonder gears to the opening bend and kicks clear off the opening 2 bends. So Balnakill Jet leads by 4 from Sunshine Hero. A couple of lengths back to Razzle Dazzle John, and Highview Celt is now staying on into third. But this is surely all over bar the shouting, and it could be the best run of the night so far, because it's Balnakill Jet by 6 lengths from Sunshine Hero back to Highview Celt in third off the final bend. And it's Balnakill Jet just getting a little bit weary, but he's just about going to hold on from a staying on Sunshine Hero. Rope Walk Boy, the old favourite, flew in the end to finish third, and the winning time not as good as it was going to look at one stage, but a respectable run of 28.89.
Rob said it best of all. Wonder gears from Trap 6, Balnakill Jet. This fellow showed stunning early speed, racing on by 4 or 5 lengths around that opening corner. As I said, I think he'll make a really talented sprinter. He's not too bad over 4 bends either. Sunshine Hero does give chase down the back straight. You can see Highview Celt showing speed. So too 3 Rope Walk Boy, but I'm afraid they were never really going to get involved, as Trap 6, Balnakill Jet had them strung out up front. And while he did come back to them in the closing yards, he never looked like getting caught. 1 in second, Sunshine Hero, and Rope Walk Boy finishing an awful lot closer than you would have thought so at halfway. We don't have time for another replay. We're going to join them in Limerick, because the next heat of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial is fast upcoming. We've seen 3 fabulous performances already down at Limerick: Explosive Boy, Racket Hull Leo, Deadly Destroyer, and this heat perhaps the first chance for the bitches to get on the score sheet. That's because Trap 2 Sing Along Sally, the juvenile classic winner, races from Trap 2. She's exceptionally talented. She's close enough to the fence, because I can promise you one thing: if she gets to it, she won't move off it. She'll be hoping Stone Park Leo doesn't get a flying start, because he himself has a very decent profile. Let's make our way over to Mal at Limerick.
First up in this, the fourth heat of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial, is Stone Park Leo, trained by Mark O'Donovan from Dwyer. Number 2, Pat Buckley, the trainer in form, has Sing Along Sally. Brendan Matthews with Those Days Are Gone, number 3. Dennis Lennon, the trainer of Trap 4 Luminous Light, for Edward Lennon. From the kennels of trainer John Byrne, Trap 5 Medusa. Locally trained Hazel Hill Kelso for trainer Michael T. O'Connell.
Well, you can't hear it, but my producers have to tell me that I'm going to be talking about my favourite dogs. But here's not the time to chat about Lassie and the likes. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll look at our eye catchers for this fourth heat of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. And first up is Stone Park Leo. We briefly touched on him. Trained by Mark O'Donovan, of course, who is steeped in greyhound history. This fellow, well, a bit of pressure on him, being the son of Michael O'Donovan, who has more Derby wins than I've had hot dinners. This son of Ballymac Beston, Adam and Gem, a 1750 won at Waterford last time out. He's very lightly raced. Didn't get to the front in his first start over 4 bends at Clonmel, but he could be anything, and there's a bit of an asterisk in this fellow. He's certainly one that can improve beyond sight, so keep an eye on him. He is certainly one to note. On so to the second of our eye catchers, and this is the aforementioned Sing Along Sally, the juvenile classic winner. This lady can really fly to the corner. She stays every inch of this trip. Of course, she is a daughter of Tullamore Act and Droopy Smasher, both absolute flying machines for their handler Pat Buckley, who of course trains Sing Along Sally, and indeed bred her. As I've said, she's already a classic winner. And the last we're going to take a look at is Hazel Hill Kelso. This fellow has shown plenty of promise around Galway. If you're doing anything sub 29 seconds around Galway, you can run. And this one has a 28.76 estimated on its card around Galway. So I just thought I'd throw that one in as the sole wide seed. Joe, cracking contest. But all eyes, I suppose, will be on Sing Along Sally.
Yes, thank you, Ian. The moment we've all been waiting for tonight to see Sing Along Sally in action. Well, she was absolutely flawless in Tralee. And what a bitch she is. And as you said, a wonderful opportunity for the bitches to get on the scorecard tonight. But she's not going to be without difficulty with the likes of Stone Park Leo. And as you said, Mark O'Donovan, steeped in greyhound racing. I actually went to college with Mark at the University of Limerick, and he's a passionate young doggy man, and I'm sure he will have his dog absolutely primed. Out in 6, Hazelhill Kelso, another young trainer. There's a lot of young trainers in this race. From Michael O'Connell of Askeaton, he ran with great credit in Galway. He's a staying dog. He's young, up and coming. Not too many races ran, and should be improving and will take to the track well. Luminous Light, of course, for Dennis Lennon from Kilkenny. Of course, another young trainer. It's great to see all the young people involved. But as you say, Sing Along Sally. She just pinged the lids in Tralee. Exactly what every breeder, owner, trainer wants their dogs to do. She done it flawlessly. What a brilliant bitch she is. Really looking forward to seeing her in action here for Team Buckley. Those days are gone for Brendan Matthews. Well, of course, as I said already, Brendan Matthews won this 2 years in a row with Cable Bay and Boyle Sports Hero. Could he get a third one this year? Who knows? It's going to be a fascinating heat. Over to you, Mel.
All set for the next heat of the Kirby. The runners, Stone Park Leo, Sing Along Sally. Those days are gone. Luminous Light, Medusa, Hazelhill Kelso. 5 to 5 is the trip to Well Away. Sing Along Sally in the blue jacket with Those Days Are Gone in second. To the second, and at the far side of the stadium, our strong favourite Sing Along Sally for Pat Buckley in front. One sets off in pursuit, Stone Park Leo. In third is Those Days Are Gone, trap 3. At the front of affairs is trap 2, stand side. A good performance here by our winner, trap 2, 3 and 1 also qualify. Those Days Are Gone and Stone Park Leo. The winning time, 28:32.
Yes, indeed. Pretty emphatic by Sing Along Sally. She's only had the 5 career starts now, but we already know what she's about. She's a flying starter. She gets to the fence and she makes every inch of the running because she stays right to the winning line. Here you see trap 2 Sing Along Sally bolting from boxes and straight to that fence. Of course, she was aided. Stone Park Leo didn't miss the kick. He was a real eye catcher. He showed plenty of pace. Checked up badly at the third bend, and that did cost him second spot, but he certainly went in my notebook. Just watch Stone Park Leo at this point. He's flying into that third turn. But trap 2 Sing Along Sally was gone, and there's one thing she can be certain of: she was going to fly home. And once she hit that final bend where she really did kick on, slight interference there in their pictures, apologies for that, but 2 Sing Along Sally, devastating in victory, 28:32. Second was 3 Those Days Are Gone, a well-bred type. Good to see Brendan Matthews with a really talented type going through to the second round. And again, that eye catcher in third, Stone Park Leo. Keep an eye out for him. He will come on considerably for that run, especially if he hits the lids. Joe, we're going to take a look at a replay with yourself. I'm sure very impressed by Sing Along Sally.
Sing Along Sally, absolutely beautiful performance there. You know, just showed her early pace, came out, trapped to line, brilliant performance. She did a split of 4:17, which is a very good early pace, but I have a sneaky suspicion there was going to be more to come from her. She was so flawless in Tralee throughout all her heats, throughout for the unraced classic back there, and tonight she really was flawless. Those Days Are Gone for Brendan Matthews. Ran on considerably well. Ran well here last week, but showed an awful lot more tonight to pass out Stone Park Leo. So he's definitely one for the notebook. And of course, Stone Park Leo for Mark O'Donovan, which ran on very well. But tonight, it was all about Sally. I'm just watching the replay here, watching her stride on all the way to the line. And there's only going to be more to come from her. Look at the clock she has done in Tralee, 28:28 and 28:29 in her trial here last week. And I'm sure, as Team Buckley can do throughout competitions like this, having them primed and improving week on week, I'm excited to see her in action over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, indeed, Joe. Stride on. That's exactly what she does do. Sing Along Sally, mighty impressive for Pat Buckley. He's won it 3 times, of course, Pat Buckley. Perhaps he has one to win it for a 4th time for himself, of course, with the likes of Droopy's Davy, Droopy's Roddick, and of course Ben Tecky's Bocco. who knows, the next name could be a female one. Sing along, Sally, because she was mighty impressive. She now has 4 wins from 5 starts. She's worth an absolute fortune because, as we've said earlier on, she is bred in the purple. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, they have left the Wayroom complex. They will be parading in just a moment or two. We'll take a quick look at the lineup. This is a 575-yard contest, the punter's favourite. The 575 in the 600-year at Shelbourne. It really does give them a chance to sort themselves out into the corner. Some really promising types in action here. And most notably, Trap 3, Ballymac Be interesting to see how she handles the long run to the corner. But we'll see that very soon indeed. In just a moment or two, I will hand over to Robert and we'll be taking a look at our eye catchers. But again, this 575-yard contest, it's an A2, but have no doubt there's dogs in this. There won't be an A2 for very long indeed. Moyola Shamrock, well housed in the fence. If he does get his trapping in order, he certainly has the pace to play a big part in proceedings. Ballymac she flew home in victory at Newbridge on March 11th. That was in the open unraced bitch stake down there, the Brownstown Tango, and Newbridge track supporter. So keep an eye on her, and Mikey's Gift, a strong runner. But Rob, we're going to join you for parade.
Yeah, the Greyhounds are parading for our 5th race, the Best Car Parks A2575. First on parade is Moyola Shamrock for the 5 Moretus Syndicate, trained by Mary Gilbert, a 2-time winner from 11 starts and wears the red jacket. 2 is Cricket Bell for Donald O'Neill, a 4-time winner from 11 starts, has done 31.48 here at Shelbourne. A reproduction of that will take some stopping. 3 is Ballymac for Liam Dowling, a daughter of Ballymac Bonnie and that brilliant stayer, Ballymac Bulger and that brilliant stayer, Ballymac Bonnie. A 1-time winner from 3 starts, has done her racing in Newbridge to date, makes her Shelbourne Park debut. 4 is Ronnie's Flyer for Norman Hook and trainer Willie Connolly, a 3-time winner from 8 starts, has won here at Shelbourne and has won at Dundalk in the past, so another for the short list. 5 is Mikey's Gift for Mikey Whelan, the 2nd female in the lineup, a daughter of Vimmerby and Coney Cashin, a 5-time winner from 18 starts and the first of our 2 middle seeds. And in 6 we've got Riser for Miss Josie Burns, trained by Paul Matthews, a winner of 1 of his 5 starts, and that came at Shelbourne here on his most recent start 3 weeks ago when he came from off the pace to win in 29.03. So as Ian said, it's an A2575, but there's plenty of potential for some big names to note here.
Yeah, indeed. We did briefly talk about my 3 eye catchers prior to the parade. We had a little bit of time. First, we're going to take a look at is Moyola Shamrock. And not long with Mary Gilbert. He's recently been picked up by the 5 Moretti Syndicate, all of which I'm sure are watching from the comfort of their home. And as you can guess by the name of the syndicate, they just might be enjoying themselves with a beer in hand. This son of Kinlochbray and Moyola Indian certainly stays. They did try him over the 6 bends last time out, but I think this is his type of trip. The long run to the corner should suit, and he is well housed in the fence if he did hit the lids. The next we're going to take a look at is Trap 3, Ballymac for the all-conquering Liam Dowling stable. This daughter of Ballymac Bulger and Ballymac Bonnie is certainly bred to stay further, although not necessarily the way she's been breeding. 1 or 2 of them have shown devastating early speed, and while we've seen 1 or 2 of them, they're big finishers. This so happens to be one of the big finishers. As I said, she caught the eye in the Brownstown Tango and Newbridge track supporters open unraced stake for the bitches at Newbridge. Of course, that competition won on Thursday night in fine style by Good Diva. And the last one we're going to take a look at is Mikey's Gift. Now, this very strong running lady, a daughter of Vimmerby and Coney Cashin, she's won 5 of her 18 starts for Mikey Whelan. Her problem is just laying up into the corner. She just lacks that yard of early speed, but she's very strong, and if she does turn close, she won't be far away. The ones we didn't mention, just quickly, Cricket Bell, Ronnie's Flyer and Riser, they're all capable of getting involved. It's one of those races where it's wide open, but unfortunately we just don't have time to go through them all. Meanwhile, back to Rob. An intriguing contest, Rob. Of course, the 575, a punter's favourite.
Yeah, long run to the bend, as you said, and we know plenty of these, if not all 6 are guaranteed stayers, but it's the early pace which might be up for grabs, and maybe Cricket Bell, who's led on a couple of occasions here at Shelbourne in the past, including making all to win in 31.48, that might be the key. But we've got Ballymac, as you said. She's bred to be really good over possibly 575 or further, and the only other greyhound who has yet to run over this trip is the Trap 6 Riser, who came from a good bit off the pace to win here on its most recent start. So they're loading for our 5th race, this intriguing A2575, and well, as we said, there's going to be a few of these who we're going to be hearing plenty about in the months to come at Shelbourne. Last couple going in for this 5th race, the Best Car Parks A2575. They're all in. And the hare running for our 5th race in 1, Miola Shamrock, through Cricket Bell. 3 is Ballymaxuki. In 4 is Ronnie's Flyer. 5 is Mikey's Gift. And in 6 is Riser. And away they go. Ballymaxuki slowly into stride. It's Miola Shamrock who takes them along in the early stages from 5. That's Mikey's Gift. But Miola Shamrock is going to lead into the opening bend. A little bit of traffic problems for 5, Mikey's Gift. And that allows 2, Cricket Bell, to sneak up the inside. But Miola Shamrock for Mary Gilbert leads halfway down the back from Cricket Bell. Then back in 3rd is Mikey's Gift. And we've got Ronnie's Flyer after that. But it looks between the 2 up front. And this is where Cricket Bell is challenging Miola Shamrock. They're locked together as they round the final bend. Mikey's Gift is staying on from the back. It's going to be close. But in the end, Miola Shamrock might just have held off the renewed challenge of Cricket Bell in a brilliant finish. 5, Mikey's Gift wasn't too far behind him. It was a cracking 5th race, and the winning time is 31.72.
Yeah, indeed, a very tight finish to that 5th race. Before we do mention the ones in front, we just mentioned trap 3, Ballymaxuki. She just got completely lost. She actually did gallop on very strongly to the corner. It's her first time here at Shelbourne Park, and I dare say she just got a bit lost in it. And meanwhile, out front, Miola Shamrock, well, he did make the most of that inside draw. He went to the front. At this point, I thought there was no question he was going to land the spoils, but 2, Cricket Bell showed plenty of pace into that 3rd bend, this son of Izo Octane, challenging on the inside where he wanted him to challenge. He did seem to head trap 1, Miola Shamrock, just fractionally here, but Miola Shamrock, great guts and determination, came racing back. They bumped, but Miola Shamrock digging in deep to win for the 5 Moretti Syndicate and Mary Gilbert. Congratulations to them. Rob, a thrilling finish to that 575-yard contest. There was plenty happening.
There was, and we expected it to be pretty tight in the closing stages. We look at the start again. It was the 2 who fought out the finish who were bestly quickly into stride. Miola Shamrock the slightly quicker into the opening bend. As you said, once he led off the 2nd bend, it looks as though he was going to probably take a little bit of beating when Cricket Bell turned 2nd. But Mikey's Gift, he encountered an awful lot, or she encountered an awful lot of traffic problems around the opening 2 bends. She's run an absolute blinder, and she's one most definitely to keep an eye on over the coming weeks and months. You can see her staying on. Off the final bend, though, it was between Miola Shamrock and Cricket Bell. Cricket Bell is really pushed Miola Shamrock, but in the end, Miola Shamrock had his head down where it mattered, and he's just about done enough.
Yeah, straight over to Mal at Limerick.
Number 2, trained by Jerry Hullian for Patsy Fitzgerald. Trap 2, Flowers in Eastal. Pat Buckley comes here with number 3, Permanent Smile, owned by Eamon Kelly. Number 4, Only Perfection, runs locally for Cortland McGarry. Trap 5, Derby's Delight, for trainer Neelis O'Connell and owner Conor Byrne. Finally, it's Rock Along Rocket for Michael McNamara, Tulla in County Clare.
Perhaps 1 or 2 of these, not quite as big a names as we've seen in the previous heats, but some very interesting types indeed. The one I did miss out was Romeo Magico. We might go back to him in a moment, but Trap 2, Flyers Iniesta, was the first I went for, simply because Jerry Holian is absolutely flying at present, and any time he brings a dog to a top-class competition, well, you really have to pay attention. 28.76 in his latest start at Galway. If he repeats that type of form, he'd play a part. Next in Trap 3, Permanent Smile. I really like this dog at Shelbourne Park in his 2nd career start, December 18th. He did 28.76. It was rated 20 slow. I can promise you he won by 17 lengths that it was more 50 or 60 slow than it was 20 slow. He looks a real prospect. He has been off since then, and his trial form not sensational, but just don't be surprised if he springs to life here. And on to the next one we're going to take a look at is Derby's Delight. So much to like about this lady in her latest start at Shelbourne Park. It was an 8-3 contest, but she ran so well for Conor Byrne. She really did stretch on in the closing yards. Looked one that would stay further in time. Just keep an eye on her in defeat, though, or in the race. I'm not saying she's going to be defeated, excuse me. Looking at these, Romeo Magico is another one with real big promise. I didn't show him. That's remiss of me, but let's go to Joe for your thoughts.
Thank you, Ian. Well, the talking dog this week in betting circles has been Romeo Magico, 90-1 at the start of the week, gone into 33-1 for Graham Holland. A 17.29 in sprint in Tralee shows the gears that this fella has, and trap 1 should suit him. As you say, Jerry Hollian, he doesn't travel to a competition unless he has a big performer in his hands. 28.76 Flyers in Yesta, one last time for him. Permanent Smile, well, 28.56, as you say. It's such an impressive winner that night. Won by 17 lengths. His trials, there must be a question asked. It wasn't the fastest trials in the world for his last 2 sprints, but then again, if he's staying on strong, that might explain it. But I'd expect Pat Buckley and all the Buckley team to have Permanent Smile absolutely primed for tonight. Only Perfection is coming a long way down from Antrim. Bit of an unknown quantity. I was talking to the owners a while ago after travelling a long way down from Antrim. Derby's Delight, of course, for Conor Byrne, local trainer Neelis O'Connell, who's never far from it. And Rock Along Rocket for the McNamaras of Tulla, of course, local to Limerick track. This runner will mean an awful lot to them tonight. He's been an impressive performance, and maybe that track experience could help him get around tonight. But Romeo Magico, he's 8-11 for the heat with Boyle Sports, and I fancy him to do the business here. But it's an open heat, and maybe Permanent Smile might give him most to think about. Over to you, Mal.
Flowers in Easter, Permanent Smile, Only Perfection, Derby's Delight, Rock Along Rocket. In Heat 5 of the Kirby at Limerick, and 6 is off to a great start. That's Rock Along Rocket from 1, Romeo McGeeko onto the second. Now 1 in front, 6 second, 4 is in third. We're down the far stretch here in the latest round of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. Trap 1, Romeo McGeeko out in front by half a dozen lengths from Rock Along Rocket. It's 1, Romeo McGeeko. Our favourite in front, hitting the final turn, is going to win in style. It'll be Trap 1, 6 and 2 will also qualify. Rock Along Rocket and Flowers in Easter. The winning time, 28:40.
Yes, indeed. Well, he may be inexperienced, Romeo Magico, but he can certainly run. You can see why there was a bit of a plunge in him during the week. Didn't actually fly from traps, sort of paddled his way out, but then got racing straight away, shoots up the inside on the corner here, and forces his way past Rock Along Rocket in second spot. Further back, Trap 3, Permanent Smile, perhaps feeling a little something. The same perhaps being said by 4, Only Perfection. But out front, and it's all about Trap 1, Romeo Magico. He really has stretched him on at this point. Dare I say it, there's a touch of a clear as rocket about this fellow. I don't want to tempt fate now or anything like it, but this was a very, very impressive display for this son of Magical Bale and fabulous artist. And great to see David Firmager, a great supporter of the game, with a runner with Graham Holland, and doing so well, because Romeo Magico is certainly ground to look forward to. Joe, most impressive.
Yeah, thank you, Ian. And as we were discussing beforehand, the big market mover of this week, 90-1 into 33-1, and the money really showed what he was talking about. 28.40, very, very impressive performance. Of course, had showed that 17.29 run in Tralee in the sprint really showed he'd gears, and tonight he done everything right. 28.40, 16.16 to the third bend, which is a good split. And of course he has only 2-3 races ran tonight, an awful lot more to come from this August 19 pup. You can expect him to be improving a lot more. Rock Along Rocket for the McNamaras of Tulla, of course, who are local to this track, ran with exceptional pride in second, really flew out of the traps and stayed going, so I'm sure they'll be delighted with that performance tonight. And of course in third we had Flyers in Yester for Jerry Holian. We have Timmy Holland coming to join us. Timmy, well done.
Thanks.
Brilliant performance, 28.40.
Yeah, delighted. He ran really well, and not delighted with him.
He showed great. The 17.29 run for you really showed that this fella had classic gears.
Yeah, he done a nice run round there. It was his first look, and he got a small legal after the first round of that. So, but he probably needed to run there again tonight. So. You have a strong team in this year's Kirby. Of course, he haven't won it yet. I'm sure you have a very, very strong chance of winning it this year. Would he be up there with your top hopes for out of your kennel this year? Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully he'll keep qualifying anyway. That's the main thing. But yeah, he's up there anyway. We'll hopefully just keep qualifying, and that's the main thing.
Timmy, well done. Best of luck for the rest of the night. An exceptional performance for Romeo Magico. Went over our 5th race.
in fairness to Timmy, he did look like he didn't trust Joe. I can see why, but needless to say, he didn't give an awful lot away, but he said enough to suggest that they think an awful lot of Romeo Magico here at Shelbourne Park. It actually feels like the roof is going to be lifted off the place. The wind is absolutely howling, but going back to that contest at Limerick, a fine display by Romeo Magico, and as we are saying, it is only his third career start. He's only August 19, but he is very well bred. Magical Bale out of fabulous artists, so a greyhound to keep an eye on in the coming weeks and no doubt the coming months. Graham Holland building up quite a team, it seems. Rob, of course, I'm sure you've been tuning into the action from Limerick. Anything catch your eye? I dare say you're going to say Explosive Boy, but one or two sensational performances, no question about it.
Yeah, well, as yourself and Joe touched on, it really set the standard when Explosive Boy did it. Not just the clock, but the sectional he did it in that opening heat. And I think we'll do well if we manage to get that beat. But we've had really good finishes. We've mentioned the likes of Brendan Matthews. Deadly Destroyer, of course, Carl Ramsbottom's a regular up here. He's a regular on Racing Post Greyhound TV. It's great to see him with a genuine contender. I'd say now that the trip back to Laois won't be as long down as it was there, or long back as it was down, but he's one that you could see go well and maybe go far. And I suppose outside the obvious ones, he might be, of what we've seen so far, he might be the one to take away rather than maybe the obvious two.
Yeah, indeed. If Carl does have someone in the van with him, I can promise you he's going to talk the absolute ears off them. Never mind talking Dogs TV, he'll be talking Carl all night TV. Yeah, good performance there by Deadly Destroyer. We're going to look ahead now to the next here at Shelbourne Park. And Rob, they're on parade.
They sure are on parade for our sixth race of the night, the www.ownagreyhound.ie A1525. And the first on parade is Tobin for Liam O'Rourke, a greyhound in excellent form, a son of Ballymacmat, a 9-time winner from 29 starts and wears the red jacket. 2 is the reserve, and that's Piercestown Kiwi for Seamus Whelan and Jerry Dempsey. Gets in here as a reserve, but has most definitely a chance, the son of Ballymacesky. 3 is Cosbos for Paula Costs, and a 3-time winner from 12 starts, including on his most recent start at Newbridge in 28.73. In 4 we've got Airmount Varies for Georgina Gibbons and Declan Cross, and a 4-time winner from 16 starts, a son of Droopy's Roddick, has been a regular at the likes of Mullingar, Dundalk and Waterford in the past. 5 is Ardalan Joe for John Dooley in Kilcock, a 4-time winner from 12 starts, a son of the English Derby winner JT Jet. And 6 is Urban Honey, owned and trained by Reggie Roberts, the only female in the lineup, and the wide seed might suit her tonight. She managed to win from Trap 5 in her most recent start, and she's one for the shortlist given that she's only had 7 races and she's only been out of the frame on 3 occasions. So that's our 6th race, an A1525, and greyhounds will be going to Trap shortly.
Yes, indeed. Well, it just so happens that one of my eye catchers is a non-runner. But we'll take a look at a couple of the notable runners here. One, Tobin. This is a real professional. Normally a fast starter. He may just edge slightly off the fence, but when he does get to the front, very hard to pass. Liam O'Rourke owns and trains this son of Ballymacmat and Callara Duchess. He's won 9 of his 29. The ideal type of greyhound to own because he'll always give his worth, and he's certainly going to earn his fair share in prize money. And the next we're going to take a look at is in Trap 6, Urban Honey for the ever-shrewd Reggie Roberts, a man that has trained some real champions over the years. And Urban Honey, she's only won 1 of her 7 starts, but that came last time out when getting up late to win in 28.87. She seems to be going the right way, and she's certainly worth keeping an eye on. She is October 18, so she does have a bit of age on her side, but clearly she's in a bit of form, and you know yourself, when a lady is in form, you stick with them. It's a cracking little contest again to look forward to, Rob. What's your choice?
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with you. I think it is between Tabina and Urban Honey if they both hit the lids. And as we were saying, Urban Honey, she's a wide seat. She won from Trap 5 in her most recent start after having a couple of runs towards the inside. And just the fact that she's out in the stripes just might give her a little bit of room. And if she can maybe follow on from her most recent start, she might be the one to beat. But Tabine, it's hard to beat a greyhound when it's in form. And he probably sets the standard.
Just before we go to this contest, Rob, just notice that Trap 2, Piercestown Kiwis coming in as a reserve. This fellow won well last week. Just wouldn't be surprised if he went up fast.
OK, they're all in for our 6th race of the night, the A1525. Tabina's in 1. In 2, Piercestown Kiwi, the reserve. In 3 is Cosbos. 4 is Airmount Varies. 5 is Ardalan Joe. And 6 is the only wide seed, and that's Urban Honey. and away they go, and one's well away. That's Tabine. 5 showing good early. Urban Honey was completely missed at the start, and it's around the opening bend that Tabine leads by a couple of lengths from Ardell and Joe. 2, that's Piercestown Kiwi in third, and then we've got a 3-length gap to 3 Cosbos, but it's Tabine who's been in brilliant form of late and leads by 2 lengths into the third bend from Ardell and Joe, who looks the main challenger and is cutting the gap all the time and is challenging Tabine. So off the final bend, Tabine on the inside, Ardell and Joe on the outside, and Ardell and Joe is just about going to get the better of the argument, although it's pretty tight. It's one of those ones which is in on the nod. It's most definitely between Tabine and Ardell and Joe in the closest finish of the night here at Shelbourne, and the winning time is 28.90.
Yes, indeed, Robin, typically diplomatic there. If you give me even money about Trap 5 Ardell and Joe, I'll take it. But at this point, it did look like Tabine was going to land the spoils. Did edge off a true line, gave 2 Piercestown Kiwi a bump, but led comfortably into the back straight. As a length and a half at this point, with 5 Ardell and Joe closing well for John Dooley, this son of JT Jet and Kildallan Susie, another one very well bred, has a few finished wells in its card, and it does normally stay on. They bump off the last bend. 5 carries a bit more momentum. 1 is coming back at him, Tabine, but I have no doubt that Ardell and Joe is up because he's on the right side in the photo finish. Rob, what's your thoughts on it? I'm sure the phone is going to ring in your ear in a moment.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't disagree with you, given that you're in this seat most nights of the week, and I suppose a long way up the straight it did look as though Ardell and Joe was maybe going to win by half a length or so, but in fairness to Tabine, he's come back all the time. He probably has the nod on his side, but I think you're right. I think Ardell and Joe, the fact that he's got the near side to help, and it's always a little bit of advantage, he probably has done enough, but well, I might just sit on the fence a little bit longer, but I've no doubt you're right. We mentioned Urban Honey getting completely, she just completely missed the kick. She's run well in the end. She's only been beaten probably 6 or 7 lengths, so I put her into the notebook. But we're still waiting on confirmation, but I've no doubt you're spot on.
Yeah, we'll give you that result as soon as we have it, folks. But meanwhile, we've got the heat of the night, or certainly the clash of the night. Let's go to Mal.
Number 1 in the red, we have for Ronnie Woods in Cashel, County Tipperary, Vigorous Buck. Owned by Tom Lynch and trained by Neelis O'Connell. Trap 2 is Jacob Tashadelic. Next up, I've Everything. Owner and trainer David Lawler. Dennis O'Malley trains Trap 4, Where Am I? Locally owned by Dylan O'Riordan and Dominic Lipper, Gary Owen. One of the big guns here, Trap 5, Billy's Diva for the Kennedys, John and Maria. And 6, the National Puppy Champion, Ballymac Ariel, Liam Dowling trains.
Yes, indeed. We've plenty to look forward to in this 6th heat of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial when the draw was made. Well, this was the clash that jumped out straight away. But of course, there are 4 other greyhounds. The first we are going to take a look at is actually Jacob Tashadelic, a dog with some really good early speed. This fellow, juvenile classic finalist for Neelis O'Connell and for Tom Lynch, and this son of Droopy Sidney and Nina Tashadelic, expected to play a part in the early yards. He's yet to win a race, and to be truthful, he's going to struggle to win this one also, because the next 2 we're going to take a look at are superstars. Billy's Diva for Maria and John Kennedy, a daughter of Good News and JT Sahara. Well, she did 28.09 on debut. She's since done 28.11, 28.04 at Shelbourne Park. She was runner-up in the National Puppy Stakes. She was 3rd in the Easter Cup, for which she was one of the favourites, and of course she was also a semi-finalist in the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. She has it all. She starts, she stays, she's special, to be blunt about it, but so too is Trap 6 Ballymac Ariel. This lady, 27.92 in qualifying, never mind in a contest. She won the National Puppy Stake, and she's since gone on to clock 27.96, 27.94 in the early rounds of the Christmas Oaks, where she was a semi-finalist. Look, not on her side in those semi-finals, and look, not on her side in the Easter Cup. She went out in the 2nd round, but I dare say she is, if not the fastest bitch in training, she's the 2nd fast, with Billy's Diva being one or the other ISO. They've met 3 times. Ballymac Ariel has won twice, Billy's Diva once. Well, is it going to be 2-all, or is it going to be 3-1, Joe? Over to you.
You know what, from an early stage, it has a touch of Cato Star and Denman, but this girl power here with Billy's Diva and Ballymac Ariel, At the start of the week, it was 2-1 for the track record to be broken in Limerick. That price has now gone to 6-4, and there's a reason why, and the very reason is they're in this race. Billy's Diva, of course, third in the Easter Cup. What a fantastic performance she's put in so far. 6 from 15, and Ballymac Ariel. Look at the clock she's done in Shelbourne. 27.96, 27.94. So consistent. It's going to be a real tussle on the outside of this race between the two of them. I can't call it between the two of them. I really can't. It's going to be very, very tough one to call. And of course, a big mention to Where Am I, of course, for local owners Dom Lipper and Dylan O'Riordan, and local trainer Dennis O'Malley, and Jacob Tashnadek, who of course ran in the final of the Tralee Unrace Classic. He has big early pace and expect him to be involved in the early stages of the race. Over to you, Mel.
All set. 1 Vigorous Buck, 2 Jacob Tashadelik, 3 I've Everything, 4 Where Am I, 5 Billy's Diva, and 6 Ballymac Ariel. Away from traps, 3 and 5 set the early pace, I've Everything and Billy's Diva. Ballymac Ariel is positioned maybe 4th. There's some trouble, and up front it's 1 Vigorous Buck in front by 6 to 8 lengths. Ballymac Ariel is in 2nd. I've Everything is in 3rd. Trap 5, Billy's Diva, is at the back of the field now, heading towards the closing couple of turns. It's trap 1, Vigorous Buck in front off that final bend, going towards the line. Big upset here, 1, 6 and 3 as automatic qualifiers. Vigorous Buck, Ballymac Ariel, and I've Everything. The time, 28.61.
Yes, indeed. Whatever if Dog came away too well, perhaps this was the case with Billy's Diva, because Jacob Tashadelik didn't come away as well, but showed brilliant early speed into the corner, and the two of them just got completely tangled up. And at this point, Vigorous Buck, who's normally a big finisher, was left in front. He's gone on by 5 lengths. You see Ballymac Ariel, after a slow start, coming around the houses to go into 2nd spot. Billy's Diva is at the back at this point, and unfortunately we're going to lose her from the competition, which is a real shame, because she is an absolute superstar. But out front, you can't take it away from Vigorous Buck. The race was thrown to him, but he certainly grabbed it with all his paws. He's staying on stout. He's a very talented tracker. In 2nd spot, Ballymac Ariel. There's far better to come from her. It will come when she makes a better start, of course. She will be out on the outside if she remains in middle seed. We'll soon see. Joe, an interesting contest. Unfortunately, we're after losing a real superstar in the form of Billy's Diva, but a lot to be said for the winner of Vigorous Buck. A strong runner.
Yeah, thank you, Ian. A desperate pity. Billy's Diva, just subject to a bit of traffic at the first bend, unfortunately didn't make it through to next week's 2nd round. But take nothing away from the performance of Vigorous Buck. Of course, for Ronnie Woods, a very, very shrewd handler and a frequent visitor to Limerick track. You can be sure that he was well schooled. A real natural born railer, this Vigorous Buck, and the trap 1 red jacket really, really suited him. Ballymac Ariel ran exceptionally well in defeat, and of course there's an awful lot more to come from her. I've Everything for David Lawler, Limerick man as well, local to this track, ran exceptionally well as well. 4:17 and 16:36 were the splits. 4:17 would be exceptionally good early around here. 28.61 your clock for Vigorous Buck. I would expect probably more to come from him. And we have Ronnie Woods coming to us now. Ronnie, if you want to stand over here.
Oh,
yeah. Well done, Ronnie.
Yeah, thanks very
much. You're in. Mike, sorry. You were in a very tough heat tonight. A lot of people wouldn't have fancied it, but you come out and you've done it. Well done. Exceptional performance.
Yeah, but he's a very good talk from the start, but his 5th time in the box. He qualified here in 28.65 and it's 5 and not too many would do it, you know what I mean. And he had a bit of an unfortunate thing, because 2 weeks ago here he split a whip and he had nothing done really for 2 weeks now, so I'm very delighted, very happy.
So he done that run tonight, having basically just been in the kennel fresh for 2 weeks.
I galloped him Thursday, that's all he had done.
Ronnie, include, as you said, 28.65 on the clock. It's only fair to say there's an awful lot more to come from Vigorous Buck.
Hopefully, yes.
A real railer, Ronnie. He needs the inside.
Oh, he's a typical trap 1 dog, yes. Yeah.
But Ronnie,
trap 1 is worth a few lengths to him,
Exactly. Ronnie, well done. Exceptional performance tonight, and we look forward to seeing you for the rest of the competition. Well done, Ronnie. Great stuff.
Yes, indeed. Well, you probably saw by the interview, it actually isn't Ronnie Woods, it's Ronnie Woots, the Belgian version of Ronnie Woods. I'm not sure if he's as much of a hellraiser as the original Ronnie Woods, but Ronnie is a very talented man with a greyhound. The vigorous prefix has been his for quite some time, and some really strong runners have come through his kennel in recent times, and Vigorous Buck is one of them. And you know what? He'll be in the second round draw of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial, along with Ballymac Ariel, of course. Unfortunately, Billy's Diva won't be there. The third qualifier there is I've Everything for David Lawler. So congratulations to all involved. The next race here at Shelbourne Park, we're going to move on, and this is the 7th race, an A1 contest. It's a 5-2-5, and some really nice types in this one. Ballymac Biscuit lightly raced in the red jacket, showed real promise in the Newbridge. 3 boxes for Graham Holland, a dog with plenty of early speed, won well last time out. We missed Minor Droopy, who has some fine form around Clonmel. So all in all, cracking little contest. Have to mention Greg's Hill on the outside, son of Law Hill Blake, and brilliant race bitch. Woe Katie, of course, trained by Dara Morrissey, who's responsible for the Greg's prefix for a while now. And of course, the ones we didn't mention, our little game for Conor Byrne in 4, and Cafe au Latte in trap 5. I wonder, does Rob like a Cafe au Latte? Anyway, they're on parade.
Yes, plenty of promising youngsters on parade for our 7th race of the night, the Sporting Press A1525. And 1 is Ballymac Biscuit for Liam Dowling, a winner of 1 from 2 of her starts today. That was at Newbridge. She's a daughter of Ballymac Matt, and if she traps tonight, she will take plenty of stopping. And 2 is Minor Droopy for Mary O'Connor, a 3-time winner from 5 starts. All of those wins have come in Clonmel, and this one can start and stay, so she's another for the shortlist. That is Minor Droopy. 3 is Boxes for the Hovex Racing Syndicate, trained by Graham Holland, who's already been on the mark tonight here at Shelbourne and indeed at Limerick, a 1-time winner from 2 starts. That was here last week at Shelbourne Park. And 4 is Our Little Game for Conor Byrne, a 2-time winner from 5 starts, a son of Over Limit, the first of our 3 middle seeds in this 7th race. 5 is Cafe au Latte for Javier Yarn and Willie Connolly, a 2-time winner from 6 starts. Both of those wins have come in Tralee. And in 6, I should say, is Greg's Hill for Jim Morrissey and Dara Morrissey. No luck in 3 starts today for the son of Log Hill Blake, but given that he's in the stripes, if he gets a clear run, well, he might just make it 4-time lucky. So that's our 7th race. It's an A1525, and as we said, it's a race which features plenty of promising youngsters.
Yes, indeed, we're going to focus our attention on the inside trio. First, we're going to take a look at Ballymac Biscuit for Liam Dowling, this daughter of Ballymac Matt and Dulcino Rose. A very impressive 28.55 on debut. That came in the opening round of the Brownstown Tango Newbridge Track Supporters Open Unraced Bitch Stakes. She was out of luck in the second round, but has shown enough promise to suggest she's a big player. She's well housed on the fence. Second up is Trap 2 Minor Droopy, owned by Mary O'Connor down in Clonmel. We did state that this one had some fine form around Clonmel, including a 28.73 in January 28th and a 28.73 last time out, March 19th. And that sort of form, certainly a big player, minor racer. The dam could certainly run. By all accounts, it seems she's throwing a few nice ones. Also, we're going to take a look at Boxes racing from Trap 3. Graham Holland for the Hovex Racing Syndicate, the son of Crohan Ronnie, who himself was a really talented little tracker. He certainly had some fine provincial form, had a couple of good runs here at Shelbourne Park also. Been interesting to see him with the runner. This fellow won well last time out in 28.82. Rob, another intriguing affair. I suppose Ballymac Biscuit is the one that catches my eye with that 28.55 on debut at Newbridge. Clearly Liam Dowling thinks a fair bit of it, bringing it up to Shelbourne Park, perhaps getting her ready for a likes of a Puppy Oaks or an Oaks Challenge.
Yeah, Shelbourne Park debut as well for both her and Minor Droopy. I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think the inside could dominate here. The fact that Boxes has already won round here at Shelbourne, that might mean that he might lead early. But as you said, if Ballymac Biscuit turns anyway close off that second bend, you'd have to think that she's got a great chance. And Minor Droopy, 5 runs around Clonmel, 3 wins. She starts and stays, and she's another who could easily win on her Shelbourne debut. It's a really, really good A1525. We're into our 7th race. The action is most definitely getting better.
Yeah, indeed, a good race to look forward to here. Again, Ballymac Biscuit in the red jacket. If there was crowding on the inside, just don't be surprised if Greg's Hill steps up in form. It's certainly bred to do so. Dara Morrissey never comes up here with a slow one. Back to you, Rob.
Here running for our 7th race of the night, and 1 Ballymac Biscuit, 2 is Minor Droopy, 3 is Boxes, 4 Our Little Game, in 5 is Cafe au Latte, and in 6 is Greg's Hill. and away they go. It's level enough. 4 is well away. On the inside is Ballymac Biscuit, but 4 Our Little Game just possibly going to get around in front. There's a little bit of traffic in behind, and that leaves 4 Our Little Game about 6 lengths clear. Over in second now is Boxes. Ballymac Biscuit hasn't got a clear run to date and now finds herself in third, but at the moment Our Little Game for Conor Byrne is a long way clear. 3 Boxes is closing the gap. Ballymac Biscuit is staying on as well, but off the final bend, and it's all about Our Little Game, and has been from an early stage, and it's going to make every yard to win in very good style. Boxes has finished second. Ballymac Biscuit has held on for third, and the winning time of our 7th race is 29:14.
There was a little bit of traffic on that opening corner. I'm glad to report that both greyhounds got up and ran on right to the escape, and they're happy themselves. But we'll watch it from the second bend. At this point, Our Little Game had got the better of this field to the corner. Ballymac Biscuit tried to challenge, but she got crowded off the first bend, and then again at the second bend as 3 Boxes and herself came in contact, and all of a sudden 4 Our Little Game found itself clear, and this son of Overlimit and Our Little Mix landing the spoils in good fashion. 29:14, not the fastest run of the night by any stretch of imagination, but Rob, a lot to like about it. Got to the corner, stayed there.
Yeah, we probably didn't give him enough mention prior to the race, but you look at his form, 28.80 around here behind Tabine, and we saw Tabine run a blinder a little bit earlier. We knew that he starts and stayed. Yeah, he got a little bit of luck around the opening 2 bends, but you need that in every race, and as you see, heading into the 3rd bend, this was all over, because we know this son of Overlimit, he's already had a winner tonight. We know this lad stays, and you can see he wasn't stopping. Boxes, again, he encountered a little bit of traffic problem, as did Ballymac Biscuit, so they're ones for the notebook. But tonight it was all about Our Little Game, and he's done it in very good style.
I want to put in the result, will you? We're moving on to the next one here at Limerick. They're about to go on parade. This Heat 7, and some really big players in this contest, the likes of Burgess Dalo, Zafiro, and One Night Only. 3 to mention, but over to Mal.
One Time Only, trained by Thomas O'Donovan. Number 2, already on the winners enclosure, Pat Buckley, the trainer with Burgess Dalo for Scottish owner Kenny Glenn. Trap 3, Des Grace and trainer Owen McKenna, Zafiro. Number 4, we have Benal Medina Roxy, owned and trained by Stephen Pennell. Trap 5 for the Heffernans. Their runner this time is Vallegro. And 6, trained by Rachel Wheeler, Palatine Leon, is Trap 6, in a race where number 1, One Time Only, is our likely favourite, alongside with number 3, Zafiro for Owen McKenna.
Yes, indeed. Well, you heard Mal saying it there, the One Time Only and Zafiro. Certainly 2 of the big players, and the first one we are going to take a look at is the aforementioned One Time Only. This fellow, notably, a seeding change. He's run as a middle and wide in his last 3 starts. It'll be interesting to see how he handles this inside draw. It may edge off, worth keeping in mind, but he was a 2nd round winner in 28.15, the Juvenile Classic. He was also a semi-finalist in that competition, and he's certainly a greyhound to keep an eye on. I know Tommy O'Donovan thinks a little bit of this fellow, a well-bred son of Droopy Sydney and Mag's Image. Again, Mag's Image, another a very talented race bitch. Next we're going to take a look at is Burgess Dalo. This fellow won in a very impressive 29-12, 28.82 calculated on his debut at Youghal. Clearly very fast greyhound. They don't do that around Youghal without having plenty of talent. Showed a bit of pace in the early rounds of the in recent times around Tralee in a competition. It's only his 7th career start, and his only win since his debut came on the 5th of March. But a strong runner. Don't be surprised if he steps up on previous form. And the next one we're going to take a look at is Zafiro. This fellow, a Juvenile Classic finalist, where he finished 3rd for Owen McKenna and Des Grace, who of course owned Pastana last year. It'd be great to see Des going far in this competition. This fellow, a member of the brilliant Droopy Sydney, Ballymac Razzle litter, and of course Owen McKenna won the 2013 Con Annie Kirby Memorial with Roxholm Bully. The first Con Annie Kirby Memorial indeed. Zafiro, very fast greyhound, massive pace from the 2nd bend. Keep an eye on him. Joe, I'm sure Zafiro is very much in your thoughts looking at this contest.
Yes, Ian, Zafiro is definitely in my thoughts. And look at the owner-trainer combination of Zafiro. Des Grace of Tralee, trained by Owen McKenna. Of course, the lovely combination that they had with Pestana. Owen McKenna won this in 2013, of course, with Roxholm Bully. Look at Trap 2, Burgess Dalo. owned by Kenny Glynn and trained by Pat Buckley, who of course combined to win the English Derby with Dearjet Sydney. So they'll be looking on the hunt for more success here. One time only, of course, for Paul Horrig, John Woodford and Thomas O'Donovan. Thomas O'Donovan, of course, if you remember, won the St. Leger Classic here last autumn, so he knows what it takes to win a big one around Limerick. 28.40 he has done in Tralee, so expect this fella to be well schooled and to be out and gone. It's all happening really on the inside here. Rachel Wheeler's runner, of course, not without a chance, an unknown quantity in 6. But if I had to pick one here, probably Zafiro.
Runners in traps.
And
One
McKenna
one time only, 2 Burgess Dalo, 3 Zafiro, 4 Bella Medina Roxy, 5 Allegro, 6 Palatine Leon. For racing, 1, 3 and 5 are out well. 1 is one time only in the red, leading from 5 Allegro. As we go to the second bend and down the far stretch, the pecking order is 5, 1, 6, 4, 3 and to the back marker. Now heading towards the penultimate turn, and Allegro in front by a length from one time only. 6 is in third, Palatine Leon. Trap 3, Zafira has it all to do to qualify. Off the final bend, here comes the line, 5, 1, very close for third. 5 wins Allegro, second is 1, one time only. The winning time, 28.64.
Yeah, the problem with picking out 3 dogs before the race is you don't get a chance to chat about them all. And Allegro is a dog that very much progressive profile. He won a tri-distance at Newbridge last time out for Paul Heffernan and Morris Heffernan, a son of Ballymac and higher level. You see him here in second spot. Trap 1, one time only, shooting up the fence, and did drift off a little bit in the corner, and that allowed Trap 5 Vallegro, who is an inside seed, to skip up his inside. And once Vallegro did go to the front, well, one time only was always facing an uphill task, because Vallegro, a winner over 575 yards in his latest start, 31.50 at Newbridge, and on that form, well, he was never going to be picked up. And as I said earlier on, this fellow, a son of Ballymac and higher level herself, brilliant performer, and she just happened to be a half-sister to country legend, who himself was third in the Kirby back in 2015. Paula Heffernan always has a very strong running greyhound, and she certainly does in the case of Allegro. Nice display, Joe. I'm sure you were impressed by Allegro.
Morris will just get there now. Yeah, thank you, Ian. A real strong running performance, of course. Vallegro had a good trial done around Limerick, 28.66, and that looked to be his first time around the track. Now, Limerick is a very tough track to run, and he obviously, with that 28.66, showed exceptional promise. Probably not one that we really fancy for this one, but look at its breeding. Out of the bitch called Higher Level, of course, a Kirby semi-finalist. The Heffernans are no stranger to having great dogs running here in Limerick. They had country legend, of course, Kirby finalists all them years ago. One time only for Thomas O'Donovan, of course, ran exceptionally well in defeat, showing great early pace to the first bend. But Limerick is a stayers track, and Vallegro really showed that staying prowess up the back straight, took off, and in 28.64, an impressive performance.
Yeah, sorry, we lost Joe there for a moment, so I'll just breathe through this once again. Vallegro in second spot at this point, shooting through. Just keep an eye on Trap 5, or Trap 3, should I say, Zafiro back in fifth spot, probably showing a little bit of inexperience, waiting for the gaps in the fence, didn't quite get them, but you can see he still has plenty in hand. He's like a jockey holding a double handful. The gap opened up off the final turn, and he did stay on strongly, but I'm afraid it was all too late. He may have just finished fourth. We're waiting on that confirmation, but 5, Vallegro, a good winner from one time only. Joe has someone there with him. Beg your pardon, he doesn't have someone. Joe, once again, we're going to move on to this next contest here now at Shelbourne Park. Excuse me, as I said, we are going on
7
live
in Limerick in 28.64.
There,
Morris,
here we are looking
exceptional
now
performance, and of course, you're no stranger to success in Limerick. Joe had country legend here all them years ago.
That's right, yes. 4 or 5 years ago, he was third in the final there. Yeah, I think he won the semi-final in 28.33. So. 2 years ago now. I'm very pleased with him there now tonight, the way he ran.
Exceptionally well bred, of course. The damn Higher Level, a bitch he owned herself, and she was a Kirby semi-finalist, I think, if I remember correctly as well.
She was, and she won the unrace in Clonmel there about 3 years ago. So she's well bred, all right, you know.
And Morris Vallegro is a very strong running dog. I think Limerick, he had a skip around here 28.66, but he really took to that track well tonight. 82 pounds, suits that staying kind of type of dog.
It does. It's a good testing track, you know, and you want plenty of stamina, so it seems to have that all right. You know, I'm very pleased the way he ran there. The go to the front and stay there, you know.
Yeah, it takes a lot. Well, Maurice Heffernan, well done. Very, very pleased for you. Looking forward to seeing you over the next couple of weeks. Of course, you've had wonderful dogs running here in Limerick, and we're delighted to see that trend continue. Well done, Maurice Heffernan, and best of luck for the rest of the competition.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed, Maurice Heffernan looking for another finalist in the Kirby. As I said a little bit earlier on, he had a finalist in 2015 with country legend finishing third to Cable Bay. And they have a really nice type in the form of Allegro. Next race here tonight, the 8th race on our card, the Book Your Trials Online A1550. Rob, they're about to go on parade. Another competitive race. That's the best way to describe it, I assume.
Definitely competitive race, and we've got a couple of intriguing sorts here. No doubt I Am's a Dream for Robert Gleeson will top many a list, given that she looks as though she could be a very smart female over the coming weeks and months. But Greyhounds are parading for our 8th race of the night, the Book Your Trials Online A1550. And first on parade is Ross Bay Jim for Pat Comerford, trained by Mert Lahey, who's already been on the mark tonight. A 5-time winner from 15 starts, a couple of good runs in Kilkenny, and has won for a short list. In 2 is I Am's a Dream for the Am's a Boy Syndicate, trained by Robert Gleeson, a daughter of Scolari, Me Daddy. She's won 1 from 3, and this one flies from halfway, so she's close on the premises halfway down the back. She'll be a big threat to those in front. Exile Storms in 3 for the GDG Syndicate, a 3-time winner from 12 starts, including on his most recent start over 600. He's another with proven stamina. 4 is Blake Mount Sheba for Mark McDonald and James McDonald, a 6-time winner from 18 starts, this daughter of Paradise Madison. In 5 is Minnie's Curse for George Roach, a 4-time winner from 18 starts, a daughter of Droopy's Kane, has won here at Shelbourne and at Waterford in the past. And in 6, it's the only wide seed, and that's Tide Will Turn for the Flynn Syndicate, trained by Fraser Black, a 6-time winner from 21 starts, a Newbridge regular, and has done plenty of good running at Newbridge, so another who could have a big say in this 8th race. So it's the A1550. It's our 8th race of the night here at Shelbourne, and Greyhounds will be going to trap soon.
Yeah, well, we've taken a few to take a quick glance to before this 8th race, and the first we're going to take a look at, as you're about to see on screen, is trap 1, I believe, Ross Bay Jim, as they go towards the 550-yard traps. Bear with me. Ross Bay Jim, of course, trained by Mert Lahey. We referenced his fantastic victory in the McCalmont Cup last night. Well, Mert's dogs are flying, and Ross Bay Jim, who had run in the McCalmont Cup, actually ran here at Shelbourne Park last time, over a little bit further, 600 yards. He is very well housed in the fence, and if he did come away on trap or on terms, he'd certainly be a big player. We didn't put in trap 2, I Am's a Dream, but he also was a big player for Robert Gleeson, very well bred type of Dolores Scolari, Daddy and Noel Swiftco. So the next one we are going to take a look at is trap 3, Exiles Storm. And Exiles Storm won that aforementioned 600-yard contest last week that Ross Bay Jim was third in. This fellow showed great determination at the opening bend, forced his way through on the fence, went to the front and stayed every inch of the trip. One wonders, will this 550-yard trip just be a fraction of the sharp side for him? Although he has won over 525 and 550 in the past, I just don't expect to see him leading in the opening yards. And the last we're going to take a look at is Tide Will Turn, simply because it's trained by the legendary Fraser Black. This fellow, well housed in the stripes as a wide seed. He's won 6 of his 21 starts and has a victory in Newbridge on his card, 31.54. On February 17th, and just judging by Vallegro, who'd done 31.53 in his previous start at Newbridge, well, it seems the 575-yard form around there is really standing up. Rob, when Fraser Black comes to Shelbourne Park, you show him respect, and he's won here in trap 6. Tide Will Turn.
Yeah, he's got a big chance, and as you said, it doesn't matter where Fraser runs them. When they run, you've got to always sit up and take note, and he's got a big chance, as you've already said. You've narrowed it down to 3, and he's very much in that 3. It's a race that I think in 2 or 3 months' time, most of these will be running in open grade. Ross Bay Gem has already run in open class in the past, but the likes of I Am's a Dream, and even though Tide Will Turn has had 21 runs, you can just see that he could prosper over the coming months, and it's most definitely an A1550 that I think plenty of future winners will come out. Of course, we've still got plenty of big names here at Shelbourne, and Ballymac Cooper, a favourite here at Shelbourne. No doubt he'll be gearing up for next week.
Yeah, absolutely. He's getting on a little bit these days, Ballymac Cooper, but he's certainly a greyhound with immense ability, and while he is getting on, it seems most of that ability is still there, and he will relish the longer run to the corner over the 600. He ran so well in the Shelbourne 600 prior to Christmas. We really do look forward to that. Of course, this is the last graded race of the night here at Shelbourne Park. It's all open from here on in, so make sure you stick with us on Talking Dogs TV. It's our first night. I hope it's going well. I hope you're enjoying what you're watching. We've seen some brilliant performances both here at Shelbourne Park and indeed at Limerick, and there's, well, still plenty to come. Of course, we have 6 more heats from Limerick to look forward to, 5 more races here at Shelbourne Park, so still 11 races after this one. But as you can see, they're almost in traps now for this 8th race here at Shelbourne Park. Once again, back to the Cat in the commentary box.
They're all in, and the hair running for 8th race of the night at Shelbourne. In 1, Ross Bay Jim. 2, I Am's a Dream. In 3, Exile Storm. In 4 is Blake Mount Sheba. 5 is Minnie's Kursk. And 6 is Tide Will Turn. And Tide Will Turn is well away, as is 4, that's Blake Mount Sheba, and 3, Exile Storm. And Exile Storm just got his nose in front around the opening 2 bends. Bit of traffic in behind. I Am's a Dream, not done many favours, but off the 2nd bend. And Exile Storm, a good winner here last week, leads by 4 lengths from Tide Will Turn. A couple of lengths back to Ross Bay Jim, and he can probably forget about the rest. Into the 3rd bend, and Exile Storm still leads and still has a commanding advantage off the final bend from Tide Will Turn and Ross Bay Jim. But once he took it up off the 2nd bend, there was only going to be winner. And Exile Storm follows up from last week in convincing fashion. In 2nd was Tide Will Turn ahead of Ross Bay Jim, and the winning time, it's a good run tonight, of 29.97.
Death and taxes that Exile Storm would come away running and lead at the opening corner, because I said he probably wouldn't lead. Needless to say, he led, and once he led, he was going to win. He won over 600 yards last week, staying every inch of the trip. Tonight he led over 550 yards, and he stayed every inch of the trip. Trap 6, Tide Will Turn, did get a little bit of bother in the early yards, turned to clear 2nd, but really didn't have an answer to Trap 3, Exile Storm. Ross Bay Jim running a fine race in 3rd spot to even stay with these really strong runners, but there's no question about it. Exile Storm, February 19, he's going the right way. That was his 4th win from 13 starts. In 2nd, Tide Will Turn, and back in 3rd was Ross Bay Jim. They're going on parade at Limerick for the next Heat 8 of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. There's just the 4 of them, so it'll only be a quick, short parade. Traps 5 and 6, Riverside Chester and Macho Pride are missing, and it means that we have an intriguing contest all the same, which includes the likes of Fabulous Azura and Bocco's Belly kennel companions, as well as Nitro Anto. 3 runners for Graham Holland, and of course they're joined by the youngster Coulivanny Lily, who won so well last time out for Noel Hare. Let's join Mal for the parade.
The Riverside Kennels for Graham Holland in Tipperary are well represented here with 3 of the 4 runners. The first of those is number 1, Fabulous Azura, Trap 1. Next up for the Pig Iron Syndicate, it's Nitro Anto. Number 3 is also a runner for the Holland Kennels, Bocco's Belly, one that has good UK form. In the black, we have Coulivanny Lily, owned and trained in County Clare by Noel Hare. Traps 5 and 6 are both vacant in this, the 8th heat of the Kirby Memorial 525 for 2021.
Yes, indeed, we are going to take a look at 3 of the runners for this contest. I did actually ask for Trap 1, just as I did ask for 1, just so it's not obvious that I'm missing out on the likely favourite Fabulous Azura. Well, first we are going to take a look at his Nitro Anto, likely race type 1. Ran well in defeat last time out, showed good early speed. He's likely to be prominent in the early yards. The next one we're going to take a look at is Bocco's Belly. This fellow, of course, landed this, looked a real star in the early rounds of the Casco Stake at Thurles, was sold to the UK, has run very well in the UK, winning or running up the Monmore Puppy Derby, should I say, behind Jaguar Macy, who is a star in herself. Also ran very well in the Toaster Puppy Derby. But this fellow returning for the Kirby now with Graham Holland for this competition. He's a dog with plenty of talent. Keep an eye on him. And the last we're going to take a look at is Coulivanny Lily. She stayed on really strongly last time out. I think she's a very bright future for Noel Hare. A lot to like about her. But the one we did miss out on was Fabulous Azura, likely favourite. 28.45 at Limerick last time out. Very fast. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is a very, even though 4 runners, it's a very, very close encounter. Fabulous Azura lit up the track around Clonmel, and a very quick 28.45 trial around Limerick. Coulivanny Lily, Noel Hare knows how to get one to the Con Annie Kirby final. He had 2, Ivyhill Bart and Ivyhill Prince, and I expect a lot more to come from Lily tonight. Nitro Anto, of course, for Gerard Hurley and John Stack, their Pig Iron Syndicate. Expect him to be thereabouts. And Bocco's Belly, very, very close encounter. Let's wait and see what happens. Over to you, Mal.
The second turn, 1, 4, 2 and 3. In this, the 8th heat of the Kirby Trap 1, Fabulous Azura in front by 3 lengths on Kulavani Lily back in third, 2 and 3. The leader, number 1, Fabulous Azura, with 2 to 3 lengths of a lead on Kulavani Lily, who will also qualify. 1, 4, 2 is the finishing order. The time here is 28.50. A double for trainer Graham Holland.
Fabulous Azura, trained by Graham Holland for Dave Burnbridger, and really this was over in the early yards. You see Bucko's Belly just finding himself in a spot of bother in the early yards, got a little bit lost around the opening 2 bends, took another bump there from 2 Nitro Anto, and that may have just cost him a place in the next round unless he gets through as a fastest 4th. But out front, and Fabulous Azura really is living up to her name. She's stretching on down the far side. This lady was a finalist in the Rural Hawaii at Stud Race. She looked real star in that competition, and on this occasion, well, as you can see, she's galloping all the way to the line. A fine run in second spot for Kulavani Lily. She really is one to keep an eye on. It is tight for third, but Mal called trap 2 Nitro Anto, and he's certainly the right place to call that. Joe, a good race to look back on, but a fabulous winner in the form of Fabulous Azura. It didn't happen for Bucko's Belly.
Yeah, Fabulous Azura. My mother is from a place called Ballysteen, and Ballysteen GA happened to be drawn with this dog. A really, really good performance. But of course, not surprising, given he'd done that exceptional trial a few weeks ago in Limerick, 28.45, and he lit up the track around Clonmel there for the unraced, doing runs like 28.43 and 28.71. Traps the line, it's all about the early pace. Got out, got his head in front, and just ploughed on all the way. As you said, Kulavani Lily, a very, very impressive performance there. Won last week in 28.74 for Noel Herr. As we said, Noel knows how to get them primed for competitions like this, and I'd expect her to keep progressing and keep progressing throughout the competition. Nitro Anto and Bucko's Belly, there wasn't a hair's breadth between the two of them, maybe on times with the 9 fastest 4th-place finishers that may perhaps that they might all qualify out of this heat. There was very, very little between them, but they ploughed on and ran very, very respectfully. But it's all about the winner here tonight for David Firmiger and Graham Holland. 16.19 to the third bend, of course, was a good run. And back in second, Kulavani Lily, as we said already, she looks to be a strong staying type, and this track suits this bitch as well.
Yeah, indeed. I really do hope that Bucko's Belly qualifies as the fastest 4th if he hasn't got up, because it'd be great to see a dog like this producing over here. He'll certainly bring an interest in from the UK. He was unlucky in the early yards, but he's not beaten all that far, and we have seen them pretty stretched out in recent times. But Fabulous Azura, a fabulous winner. A second winner in the heats tonight for Graham Holland. A second female winner following Sing Along Sally, and it's actually 3 across the 2 tracks for Graham Holland. So a fine display there by Fabulous Azura, and you can be absolutely certain that she is going to be leading fancy in the competition if it continues to hit the lids. And now I believe Joe has someone to talk to down at Limerick once again.
Ian reckoned I scared you off a bit the last time, but we're getting more used to each other now.
Yeah.
Fabulous performance there, 28.50, and a dog that done very well in Clonmel and showed his class here tonight.
Yeah, she's a nice bitch. Yeah, she's sister to Romeo Magical, so no, I'm delighted with her. Delighted for Dave and Nicky Firmiger. So
yeah, of course, David Firmiger has a good few dogs in your kennel as well.
Yeah, he does. He's a great owner of ours, and was David for the English Derby, and he's a really good friend.
And Nitro Anto, Timmy and Bucko's Billy, there was very, very little between them. We're waiting to see the times, so hopefully that they might qualify as well.
Yeah, the 2 qualified anyway. Hopefully the other fella qualified. He probably needed the race. He hasn't been with us long, so
he should come on a lot from the run.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Well, Timmy Holland, well done, winner of our 8th race here tonight with Fabulous Azura in 28.50. We hope to see you back again soon for maybe
Perfect.
A 3-timer, Timmy.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks.
Well done, Timmy.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems Timmy is definitely getting used to Joe. He's probably not as intimidating second time round, but I think, by the way that Graham Holland's dogs have been running here tonight, we could be seeing him chatting a lot to Joe over the coming weeks. Maybe it won't be Timmy next time, maybe it'll be Nicky or Rachel or Graham himself, but it certainly seems they have a very strong team looking ahead to the remainder of the Kirby, and they'll be hoping for further glory, perhaps in this evening's action. Now, we're looking ahead to the next race here at Shelbourne Park. It is the 9th race in our card. I did state earlier on that this was the first of our open races here tonight. It's an AO, so it's a mini open as such. It's not quite a AO, but some really decent types in action here all the same. And a certain man called Graham Holland has a dog in Trap 6, Swords Duke, who I believe is probably the one to beat. Certainly if he can hit the lids running. He's a dog that doesn't quite get the 550, although he does prefer the 550 run-up. Not the most consistent at boxes, but he has plenty of early speed. On the inside, Ballymac Captain is very well housed for a good friend of mine, Georgie Roach, in Wexford, and he'll be hoping that this fellow can come away on terms, because if he does, he won't move off that fence. Of the remainder, Glencorby Duke and 2 for the legendary Jerry Melia, certainly entitled to run well. The Scallies have Trap 3, Cabra Dawn. How often have we seen the Cabras running very well here at Shelbourne Park? Our Swans Rock bidding to give Jerry Merriman a second winner of the night here at Shelbourne. And Belmore Warrior for Martin Lanny. We saw Rocks Home Socks running well in defeat earlier on, and Martin would love to have a winner tonight at Shelbourne Park. This is 28.76 in his card. Rob, another intriguing affair.
Yeah, intriguing affair indeed, and greyhounds are just coming on parade for our 9th race here at Shelbourne. The upcoming events, AO 525, and the first on parade is Ballymac Captain for George Roach, a 4-time winner from 16 start. Ran well in defeat here a couple of weeks ago, a son of Ballymac Matt and a leading fancy in Trap 1. 2 is Glencorby Duke for Stephen Barrett and trainer Jerry Melia, a 5-time winner from 13 starts. This son of Kinloch Bray has won here at Shelbourne and at Newbridge in the past, and there's another for the shortlist. 3, Cabra Dawn for Ava Scally in Tipperary, a regular around Thurles. Has been doing some excellent runs around Thurles, this daughter of Over Limit. She's a 5-time winner from 16 starts, and she's got a huge chance here. 4 is Our Swans Rock for Joe Sweeney and Brenda Sweeney, trained by Jerry Merriman, who's bidding for a double on the night, a 5-time winner from 17 starts and the first of 3 wide seeds in this 9th race. 5 is Belmore Warrior for the TG McCourt Racing Syndicate, trained by Martin Lanny, a 4-time winner from 25 starts and the second of the wide seeds. And in 6 is Swords Duke for Barbara Lowndes and Graham Holland, already on the market, both Shelbourne and Limerick Graham Holland, and Swords Duke could be the one to beat. He's got the ideal draw. He's a 4-time winner from 15 starts. He's a son of Rio Quattro, and he starts and stays, which will be a big help in this 9th race. So that's it, our 9th race. They have finished parading, and as ever, they'll be going to trap shortly.
I'd say they'll be going to traps fairly sharpish here at Shelbourne Park, because we're just a little bit behind schedule. So we'll go through our 3 runners quickly. Glencorby Duke in Trap 2 for Stephen Barrett, a very famous name in greyhound racing. Stephen, I hope he doesn't mind me saying he's been involved in the game an awful long time, but Stephen's had some really fast dogs. This fellow, 28.50 winner here in the past, at the back end of the year. 17.69 trial at Newbridge last time would suggest he's in good order. Jerry Melia, well, no stranger to success here at Shelbourne. Next we're going to take a look at is Trap 3, Cabra Dawn. The Cabra name, of course, very famous in greyhound racing circles. This one is a daughter of Over Limit, and Cabra Millie, who herself was a brilliant racer, as Robert said in his parade. Some fine form around Thurles, including over a little bit further, 570 yards. And the last we're going to take a look at is the aforementioned Swords Duke, a dog with plenty of pace. If he does come away on terms, well, he'll be very, very hard to stop. He has tremendous dash to that 3rd turn. It's just the case if he traps on level terms. That is his problem, but on this occasion, if he does, I think he'll take some stopping. And of course, he's owned by Barbara Lowndes, who herself always likes to have a decent dog in their care. And in the form of Swords Duke, they'll have plenty of sport with this fellow, especially if he sorts his trapping out. Rob, we are just a minute or 2 behind here at Shelbourne Park, but it's good to take a breath, take a pause, and look ahead to what's coming next. A cracking contest. Swords Duke is my choice. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it's hard to get away from Swords Duke. I suppose if you like Agent Stanley down in Limerick, you'll be hoping that Ballymac Captain goes well here, because of course he followed home Agent Stanley a couple of weeks ago, and Agent Stanley runs in the next of the Con Annie Kirby Heats in Limerick, so we might get a form guide there. It's been a great night down in Limerick. They are about to load here at Shelbourne, but we still have plenty of big names to come at Limerick. Ian, is there anything you're particularly looking forward to?
Well, funny enough, the next seat, Ballymac Cashout, I think he's a dog with unlimited ability. He's very well housed in the fence, and if he does manage to come away on terms, well, he could set a really, really strong time. Perhaps get close enough to Explosive Boy. He did 28.08 himself in the trial last week, Ballymac Cashout. And by the way Liam Dowling talks, I think he thinks this fellow is a bit special. He has shown glimpses of it here at Shelbourne Park. He's shown glimpses of it down in Cork, and I think if the real Ballymac Cashout stands up tonight from Trap 1, I think we'll see a massive run from him, and that's in the very next heat. But meanwhile, here at Shelbourne, they are going to traps, Rob, so over to yourself.
Yeah, all in for a 9th race, the first of the open contest here at Shelbourne tonight. In 1, Ballymac Captain, 2, Glen Kirby Duke, and 3 is Cabra Dawn, 4, Arswan's Rock, 5 is Belmore Warrior, and 6 is the third of the wide seeds, Swords Duke. And Swords Duke, he's away okay, not as fast as Cabra Dawn, and Ballymac Captain up the inside, and Ballymac Captain is going to lead into the opening bend and leads by about 3 lengths suddenly from Trap 2, Glen Kirby Duke. Then we've got Arswan's Rock and a couple of lengths to Belmore Warrior, but halfway down the back, and it's Ballymac Captain who's got an unassailable advantage. Arswan's Rock is trying to close the gap, and Glen Kirby Duke is back in third, but off the final 2 bends, and Ballymac Captain, after a good run a couple of weeks ago, he's going to get back to winning ways, and he's going to do it in good style for George Roach. Ballymac Captain a good winner. In second was the staying on Arswan's Rock. Possibly Swords Duke has come from a long way back to finish third. We'll confirm that, but the winning time of Ballymac Captain is 28.63.
Georgie Roach should be delighted with this. This was an easy enough replay to do. Ballymac Captain came away well, hit the front early and made every inch of the running. Very impressive. Swords Duke, in contrast, a bit flat-footed at boxes, I'm afraid, just didn't get racing quick enough. He did run on strongly, showed plenty of pace, but it was all about Ballymac Captain out front. He stretched on by 5-6 lengths to that third bend. 4 in second, Arswan's Rock has some fine form here at Shelbourne, including a 28.41, but couldn't land a blow on Ballymac Captain, who is going to be a really sporting greyhound for George Roach this year, really taking display. Meanwhile at Limerick, they're on parade. Perhaps another Ballymac winner coming up.
Number 1, a great run in the Gold Cup at Shelbourne Park. Ballymac cash out for the Ballymac kennels of the Dowling family in Kerry. Trap 2 for the Buckleys. Number 2 is Riaja Smasher. Number 3, Agent Stanley, is for trainer Marie Gilbert. Dermot Fitzgerald of Glen in County Limerick trains Stormy Diego, Trap 4. Number 5 in the orange is Epic News from Maria Kennedy of Thurles. And 6, All About Ted, trained by Peter Cronin. Those are the runners for the 9th heat of the Con Annie Kirby 5-5, with support from the McManus family of Martinstown, County Limerick.
Yeah, indeed. By next week, we'll definitely have a name for this slot, whether it be the highlighted hounds or whatnot. But we're going to first go with Ballymac Cashout, a dog with immense ability, very well drawn on the fence. Another brilliant member of this Droopy Sydney Ballymac Razzle litter. An April 19 whelp. If he hits the lids, forget about catching him. He'd be too good. That's not to say there aren't a couple that could rival him. Epic News looked a real prospect down in Cork for about 500 yards of the contest, completely walked home November 28th. I wondered did he cramp on that occasion, but in recent times a 28.31 trial at Limerick, so clearly a dog with huge ability, and of course he is a brother to Billy's Diva. On now to Trap 6, All About Ted. This fellow's been off the track for quite some time, but really caught the eye December 5th. That was the Winter Racing Festival course here at Shelbourne Park. Beaten on that occasion by Feudal Spirit, but showed awesome pace. And if he can translate that form to here, he'll be a big, big player. Joe, a cracking contest to look forward to.
Yeah, All About Ted, of course, for the legend that is Willie Rigney and Peter Cronin. Look sure to go a long way in this one. Ballymac cash out 28.08 for his trial last week. Of course, his form in his races thus far have been absolutely sublime. But looking at that trial, 28.08, it's not too far off the track record. And if this fella comes out, who knows what kind of a run he will do. Pat Buckley, I know, thinks an awful lot of Regis Smasher. Didn't have much luck in Tralee. Stormy Diego for Glen owners, for local owners, sure to be.
We're ready to go.
Well.
It's Ballymac cash out, Rojo Smasher, Agent Stanley, Stormy Diego, Epic News, and All About Ted. Plenty of eyes on Trap 1, breaks moderately, does Ballymac cash out. Now improves going towards the turn with 6 for company, All About Ted. It's 6, 1 goes back to the field to third. In between we have Epic News. It's 6, 5, 1, 3, 2 and 4 going towards the third bend in our 9th heat of the Kirby. 6 and 1. 1 goes to the right, goes to the inside. It's 6 in front, All About Ted from Ballymac cash out. It's 6, 1, 5. All About Ted, Ballymac cash out, Epic News. The time here 28.74.
greyhounds here. You can see on the outside, Trap 6 All About Ted going up so well in front, but once he did lead, it was going to be very hard to stop him. But Ballymac Cashout showing plenty of pace up the fence, had to check across, finds himself back in third. Epic News then goes into second spot, but Ballymac Cashout motors to that third bend. Meanwhile, out front, All About Ted is still showing plenty of pace for Peter Cronin, Willie Rigney and Richard Brown, and he was always going to be hard to pass. Ballymac Cashout nearly went on the deck there, caught the heels of Trap 6 All About Ted. A fine display by the winner, a display full of promise by Ballymac Cashout, and Epic News, not to be forgotten, ran well in defeat also. It's one of those races where we could be seeing plenty of these three greyhounds in the coming weeks, because Ballymac Cashout showed loads of pace in defeat. Joe, I don't know what you think about that race. Good display by the winner, but the second, very eye-catching.
Thank you, Ian. Yeah, very, very eye-catching run there from Ballymac Cashout. I'm absolutely delighted for Willie Rigney and Richard Brown, of course, and Peter Cronin, of course. Willie Rigney, a legend of the sport. 28.74, it was a good performance. He's came up well, and the early pace in Limerick is a massive, massive advantage for All About Ted. How eye-catching was Ballymac Cashout? Ran into a bit of congestion, got stopped in his tracks, lost his momentum. Now, many greyhounds, when they run into a bit of congestion like that, it can lose their momentum so much. They find it hard, difficult to keep on going. But it just shows how much class this Ballymac Cashout has. He kept running on and running on and running on, and showed great staying pace. And of course, Epic News for the Kennedys, well, they came down here with a very strong team and did a 28.31 trial last week. So you can best your bottom dollar that there's going to be an awful lot more to come from Epic News. But very eye-catching performances from definitely the second and the third in that race. But tonight it's all about Ted, of course. 28.31 and 28.33 done around Shelbourne Park. And Willie Rigney tells me this one could be a potential dog for the English Derby later on in the year.
Yeah, indeed, Peter Cronin does love to bring one across to England. And All About Ted, we knew he was fast, we knew he was plenty capable. A fine run by him, no doubt, but Ballymac Cashout, for me, the eye-catcher in the race. Just, of course, Ballymac Cashout was helped in the early hours by Riaka Smasher moving wide from boxes, but a fine display by first, second and third. Just keep an eye on Riaka Smasher back in fourth spot, showing plenty of promise in just his second career start. I've no doubt there's plenty to come from him. But the same can be said for a lot of the dogs that get knocked out tonight. Don't rule them out, because we've seen in previous years that dogs that get knocked out in the opening round or second round can go on to great things. Indeed, one or two Derby champions have done so in the history of the Kirby, and who knows, maybe in a few months' time we'll be looking back at the Kirby and going, wow, that was knocked out the first round or the second round. It's worth your while keeping an eye on these greyhounds. There's plenty of promise in behind the ones that finished first, second and third. Meanwhile, we're here at Shelbourne Park. We're going to look ahead to the next race. The wind is continuing to howl outside. It's pretty wet and windy out there. Not ideal conditions, but at the same time the dogs are running well. And this contest, well, it could all come down to the early speed on the inside. Cornerhouse Lady, I expect to go up fast. Cabra Blitz is some fine form in recent weeks, and Top Bitch Company, Costa Plenty can really rock it to the corner. Apothecary is perhaps one of the fastest in the country from traps. She never seems to miss the kick, and expect to see her prominent in the early yards. In 5, Drumbeg Dream, 6 times a scorer, including a fast split here, 208 and a 128 around Limerick, so can clearly go to the corner. And out in trap 6 is Nemesis, herself a very talented lady. It's a race where we've got 4 bitches, 2 dogs. They're all capable of a big run, but Cornerhouse Lady is perhaps the best drawn of them. But I'm not going to be predicting anything in this contest, because it really is wide open. Rob, it's one of those races whichever gets round the corner is probably going to take a bit of stopping.
Absolutely. You mentioned Apothecary, who has blistering pace to the third bend. Of course, she tried to make most here last week, and she was reeled in by Cornerhouse Lady in the closing stages. So we might see a reproduction or something similar to that. And obviously we can't forget Nemesis, because Nemesis, of course, got to the final of last year's Sporting Press Irish Oaks. But they are on parade for our 10th race of the night, the Retired Greyhound Trust Open 525. And first on parade is Cornerhouse Lady for William Hennessy and Bethany Dunn. A second runner tonight for Paul Hennessy, and a 3-time winner here already at Shelbourne Park in 2021. That's Trap 1 Cornerhouse Lady, who did manage to beat Apothecary here when they went head-to-head last week. 2 is Cabra Blitz for Paddy Scally, a 5-time winner from 23 starts, a daughter of Patsy Sabbath, another who generally does her best work from halfway, and she's wearing the blue jacket in trap 2. 3 is Costa Plenty for the Costa Lot Syndicate for Jerry Amelia, one of the likely pace setters early on, a 12-time winner from 43 starts, this son of Droopy's Roddock. In 4 is Apothecary for John Coleman and Mert Lahey, the likely leader early on. This daughter of Loghill Blake has blistering early pace. She's a 12-time winner from 36 starts, and if she starts, she'll take plenty of catching. 5 is Drombeg Dream for Fergal McAuliffe and Evan McAuliffe, a 6-time winner from 21 starts, has won at Galway and at Limerick in the past, and is the 5th of her inside seeds, wearing the orange jacket in 5. And in 6 we've got Nemesis, the only wide, the middle seed for Niall McGee in Lifford, a 4-time winner from 27 start, a finalist in the 2020 Sporting Press Irish Oaks, and of course comes here after running in the champion bitch down in Thurles. And of all of these, her and Corner House Lady appear to be best housed. So it's our 10th race of the night. It's one that the females might have the last say, but it's a really intriguing race here at Shelbourne Park.
Don't the females always have the last say, Rob? Certainly do in my house. First up, we're going to take a look at his Corner House Lady racing in the red jacket. This lady has been in tremendous form of late, of course, a former Lee Strand winner. She's owned by William Hennessy and Bethany Dunn and trained by Paul Hennessy, a good starter. She'll stay to the fence and she stays on strongly. She actually picked up Apothecary in her latest start here, winning in 28.82, 28.62 estimated on the slow track. Next, we're going to take a look at his 2 Cabra Blitz, owned by Paddy Scally, this daughter of Patsy Sabbath, run so well down in the Bitch Stake down in Thurles, finishing second to Skywalker Silla. She's a very talented type. She'll need to be on her game here because she's flanked with early speed. And the last we're going to take a look at out in trap 6 is Nemesis. Roberts suggested about this one's talents, and of course she was a finalist in the Oaks last year. She's a daughter of Droopy's Jet and Ballymac Galtee. Out of luck in her recent starts down at Thurles, but running so well for in the main over recent weeks, and she can certainly play a part. It's one of those contests though where we haven't named 3 that could certainly get involved. Costa Plenty, a likely race in recent times, but he can really rock it to the corner. He's owned by the I don't know whether it's the aptly named Costa Lot Syndicate. Expect to see him prominent, but you can certainly expect to see Apothecary prominent from trap 4. Robert, I'm sure you'll be keeping an eye out for her in the opening strides. Apothecary, perhaps the likely leader.
Absolutely, and they're nearly all in for our 10th race of the night, this Retired Greyhound Trust Open 525. They're all in, and they're running for a 10th race of the night. In 1 Corner House Lady, 2 is Cabra Blitz, 3 Costa Plenty, 4 Apothecary, 5 is Drombeg Dream, and in 6 is Nemesis. And not as expected, it's a pretty level break, and Cabra Blitz is best early of all into the opening bend, and Cabra Blitz is showing them a clean pair of heels around the first 2 bends, so leads by 3 lengths over Costa Plenty. Then we've got Nemesis in 3rd, Corner House Lady is next, and struggling at the back is Drombeg Dream and Apothecary. But this is a long lead for Cabra Blitz around the top 2 bends. The only one who was chasing her is Nemesis, but surely she's given her too much to do, and off the final blend, Cabra Blitz has blitzed him here at Shelbourne Park from start to finish, and is one of the most impressive winners of the night. In 2nd, possibly Nemesis has held off the late thrust of Corner House Lady, but this was a 1 greyhound race from Trap Rise. That greyhound was Cabra Blitz, and she's made every single yard in 28.60.
Yes, well, we did suggest that the Scallies never come to Shelbourne Park with a slow one, and they certainly don't in this case. Cabra Blitz, well, she really did blitz them, dare I say it. Anyway, she shot clear into the opening corner. She motored clear down the far side, and she's staying right to the line. 28.60 in the conditions is a big run. Have no doubt that this lady will have the Sporting Press Irish Oaks in the summer very much on her agenda, and by all accounts, if she can keep producing this run to the opening corner, well, she won't be all that far away. Tremendous performance by Cabra Blitz, and Paddy Scally can be mighty proud of the efforts of his talented daughter of Patsy Sabbath and Cabra Fifi. Rob, a lot to like about that, a really professional display.
Looking at Costa Plenty and Apothecary and at the traps, and I suppose when you're anticipating a good break from a greyhound, it can often backfire. But this was brilliant. It was brilliant on the eye, and it was brilliant, as you said, on the clock, because 28.60 here tonight is as good as I think you're going to get. And you see her down the back straight. She's put 6 lengths between her and a really, really good field. Nemesis is getting going now, and she's moved into second. Corner House Lady, things didn't go right for her early on. She's run eye-catching back in third. But this was a one greyhound race, and as you said, if you're putting a greyhound into your notebook for the Sporting Press Irish Oaks, I think Cabra Blitz should be top of that list after that.
Yes, indeed, Rob. Well, no time to waste. Straight to Limerick for the parade.
Trainer Robert Gleeson, who won the 2019 edition of the Kirby, runs 2 Corbrack Prince for Sean Keenan and Cathal Connolly. Number 3, Peter Cronin, looking for a quick double. The trainer has Angry Tornado. Scala O'Mara next up for Joe Brazel of Kilmallock. The well-fancied Trap 5 is The Machine, owned and trained by Brendan Matthews of Newry. And 6, Hello Mikey. It's trained by Gary Silcock.
Yes, indeed. Well, we missed Trap 1, Ballymac Fair 1 on parade, but we're going to speak about it now in our 3 to follow. And Ballymac Fair 1, this son of Ballymac Matt and Ballymac Scala, a full brother to the aforementioned Ballymac Cooper. We were talking about him earlier on, and this fellow has shown plenty of ability in qualifying, but this is his racing debut. Really up against it in really hot company, but Liam Dowling obviously thinks a fair bit of this son of Ballymac Matt, and he did do a 17:49 trial at Tralee in qualifying, which suggests he has plenty of pace. Next we're going to take a look at is Trap 2 Corbrack Prince, mainly because I wrote down on my list for the lads 2 The Machine. The Machine's actually in 5, but we'll mention Corbrack Prince because he did run very well at Shelbourne Park last time out, showed good early speed, built up a clear advantage, was coming back to his rivals, but held on to win in 2 lengths by 2 lengths. He has a 21:37 on his card at Dundalk. He's lightly raced. This is only his 4th career start, and of course trained by Robert Gleeson, who won the last Kirby held in 29-19 with tourmaker Josie. And the last we're going to take a look at is Hello Mikey. This fellow caught my eye in the opening round of the Easter Cup. He showed fine early speed and well housed out in Trap 6 as a middle seed. The Machine in Trap 5 is the one we didn't mention. We should have. He was a finalist in the English Puppy Derby. He can really run, but he's not blessed with early speed. But keep an eye on Trap 6. Hello Mikey could run well. And over to Joe.
Thank you, Ian. Well, of course, as a wise observer told me in greyhound racing, an ounce of breeding is worth a ton of feeding. And look at the breeding of Ballymac Fair 1 for the powerhouses that are the Dowlings from Ballymacilligat, out of the same dam, and a full brother to Ballymac Cooper. Expect this one to be right up there. And of course, Corbrack Prince for Robert Gleeson, who trained the 2019 winner, toolmaker Josie. Expect him to be thereabouts. Scala O'Mara goes for Joe Brazel, of course, a local man to the track. He's a shrewd handler. The Machine, Machine by name, Machine by nature, going by his 28:16 trial last week. Only concern for the Machine is he did 4:30 down to the bend. I was here for his trial last week, 4:30 down to the bend. It's not going to be fast enough to lead, but if he improves in that trial, which I'm every confidence that he will, he's going to be well in the shake-up. And Hello Mikey for Gary Silcock, of course, who travels down from the north. It's going to be a very wide open contest. Best of luck to all runners, and over to Mel.
In traps for the 10th heat of the Kirby, Ballymac Fair 1, Corbrack Prince, Angry Tornado, Scala O'Mara, The Machine, Hello Mikey. And we're racing. The Machine is the favourite. Trap 5 away okay. Scala O'Mara going lively early on to the second turn will lead. Scala O'Mara has a decent advantage down the back stretch. Hello Mikey is in second. 5, 2 and 1 are next. Up front, Scala O'Mara by a length or so from Hello Mikey, closing as well The Machine. It's 4, 6 and 5, close between the leading three as they come off the final bend. Hello Mikey on the inside, near side, Trap 5, The Machine. Tight. The time here is 28:77 in the 10th heat of the Kirby Memorial 525.
Yes, indeed. Well, Scala O'Mara was only an 8-2 prior to this, but he had shown big early speed in his previous outing against Bombardier, and on this occasion showing great early speed again. You see the inexperience of Ballymacfair, one on the inside, edging off and force a check. So too, though, 5 De Machine, certainly living up to his name in the second half of the contest. But keep an eye on trap 6, Hello Mikey, in second spot. It didn't quite go up as fast as he certainly can, but he showed plenty of pace into the third bend. He's on the heels of Scarla O'Mara, had to wait his turn, slipped up the inside, went to the front. The Machine, though, stays nice and wide and comes high, wide and handsome. It's close in the line. I'd give it to trap 6, Hello Mikey. We will get the result in just a moment. The Machine, though, running a big race in second, and a fine display by Scala O'Mara. Joe, a nice run by first, second and third.
Yeah, of course, Ian, and the result hasn't been in yet. I would say the Machine nearly got up. You reckon trap 6? I'd be more in the trap 5 camp, but either way, they all qualify. The Machine, look at the pace he showed. He ran into congestion at a number of occasions there in that race, and look at the pace he showed to stay on. Very, very impressive performance by the Machine. And of course, hello Mikey. But the Machine, of course, Brendan Matthews, twice a winner to Con Kirby. He knows how to get him ready, and his runner earlier, those days are gone, ran quite well. Ballymacfair won. Well, look, I suppose things didn't really go his way in this race. The result is just in. First, number 6, I was wrong. Gary Silcock from Armagh, coming down from the north, well worth the journey tonight. 28.74. There was very, very little between them. 6, 5 and 4, all the outside runners featuring in the first 3 places tonight. And Scala O'Mara for Joe Brazel. Of course, his local track knowledge was a big help to him tonight. He ran with great credit around Limerick numerous times here. But Hello Mikey is our winner from the Machine. A very eye-catching run from the Machine. If he gets a clear run at all, he will really open up. We have Gary Silcock with us here for an interview.
We might have someone, Joe.
Actually, no, we don't have Gary. No, we don't have Gary. He has to run off with the dog. But yeah, very impressive performance by Hello Mikey. But definitely one to watch, and the eye catcher in that race was definitely the Machine. And of course, well done to Scala O'Mara, who qualified for next week's contest as well.
Yes, indeed, Joe. Well, you said it yourself. An ounce of breeding is better than a ton of feeding. Well, I have a bit of breeding, but by the looks of me, probably a ton of feeding too. And I knew the trap 6 was up, and I dare you not question me in the future. The Machine a clear second in that one, but a fine display by Hello Mikey, landing the spoils in fine style. The Machine absolutely powering home on the outside. I'd love to have a leg in him. Maybe the lads might just pass one on to me. Hint, hint, hint. But a fine display there by trap 6, Hello Mikey, in victory. And of course, he can go up better, as we've seen in the past. Certainly here at Shelbourne Park in the opening round of the Easter Cup. Another fine display here at Shelbourne Park. They'll be parading very soon here at Shelbourne for this next race, the 11th race, should I say, on the card. We're getting towards the end of the night. I'll tell you what, 2.5 hours talking at this stage. I'm glad to say we're nearly there. Anyway, we'll be going to Rob in just a moment for this 550-yard contest, the GR Ireland .ie Open 550. Rob, a cracking contest to look forward to. You mentioned Ballymac Cooper earlier on. It's a joy to commentate in this type of greyhound, Ballymac Cooper, but he won't have things his own way, facing some really notable rivals.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the big name tonight, as you said. He is getting on. He's the veteran in the lineup, but when you look at what he's done, he's got to an Irish Derby final. He, of course, got to a Champion Stakes final. No look in the Easter Cup in the early stages of that, but obviously you get the impression that they're warming up for the 600, which starts next week, and he has won over 600. And some reckon, if you look at his stats, he might just be better out of trap 5 than trap 6. We were talking about that during the Boylesbush Irish Derby last year, so we'll find out tonight. It could be a good opportunity for him, because the greyhound outside him, Clonfert Lorenzo, while he did break the track record of Mullingar last week, it's a big step up for him, but he's just one of those names. When you hear Ballymac Cooper, you always like to tune in. And the greyhounds are now parading for our penultimate race of the night here at Shelbourne, the www.GRIreland.ie Open 550. And one is No Green Die for Laura Earl and Sean Murphy, a 3-time winner from 19 starts and a son of Over Limit. 2 is Monbeg Zingzan for Eamon Doyle, a 6-time winner from 25 starts. Reeled in Razzle Dazzle Peaky here a couple of weeks ago and has got a big chance on that performance. 3 is Kamiko for Larry O'Rourke and Graham Holland, a 5-time winner from 16 starts. Without a look here last week on his best form, he's got a big chance. 4 is Razzle Dazzle Peaky, the Boyle Sports Consolation Derby winner. This is owned by the Kildare Kilgalgan Syndicate, trained by Neelius O'Connell, a consistent sort who's very few times out of the frame, and he's got a big chance in trap 4. 5 is the lovable Ballymac Cooper for Liam Dowling, a 15-time winner from 38 starts, third in the Irish Greyhound Derby. He got to the Champion Stakes final last year as well. He can do it over 600, and he's got a big chance tonight on his best form. And then 6 is Clonfert Lorenzo for John Youngs in Kildare, an 8-time winner from 26 starts, and his most recent run was his best run when he broke the 550 track record at Mullingar a couple of weeks ago. He'll need to do that and maybe a bit better tonight, because he does take a step up in class. So that's our 11th race. For many, it's the feature race of the night, and no doubt most eyes will be on trap 5, Ballymac Cooper.
Yeah, indeed, Ballymac Cooper, perhaps the one they have to beat, but he will face some notable rivals. We're going to take a look at a couple of them, as well as Cooper himself. Monbag Zinzan in trap 2, a dog that caught my eye earlier in his career. He's a real strong runner. I think a step back up or a step up in trip in the future could really be the key to this fellow. I have no doubt he'll be in the 600. He's a real powerhouse. Beaten a short head, or won a short head last time, should I say, nailing Razzle Dazzle Peaky. He's won 6 times in his card. Eamon Doyle owns and trains this fellow down in Enniscorthy. He's not without a hope. Certainly, if there's any traffic up front, this fellow will be finishing fast. In 4, Razzle Dazzle Peaky. What a joy this fellow must be to own. He's owned by the Kildare Kilgalgan Syndicate and trained by Neelius O'Connell, a son of Makeshift and Razzle Dazzle Prue. He never runs a bad race. He's as game as a pebble, as they'd say in horse racing. This fellow will be staying on stoutly, but he's also capable of going up fast. And the next we're going to take a look at is Ballymac Cooper, former champion on race stake winner down at Kilkenny. He's been a star since the very start of his career, racing in nothing but the very best company. A Night of Stars winner over 575 yards, a Derby finalist, Champion Stakes finalist. He's just a class act, as we keep saying. He is getting on a bit, but still plenty of ability. A cracking contest, and the 3 I didn't mention, No Green Dye, Cameco and Clonfert Lorenzo, they can all run. But Rob, it's one of those races. We're just hoping to see a clean one, and we're hoping that a proper dog comes out on top, and by all accounts Ballymac Cooper has the best form in the book.
He does, yeah. He is the class act, as you said, and it doesn't matter how old a greyhound gets, he always retains that little bit of class. And as we've said, that the trap 5 rather than trap 6 just might suit him tonight, but he'll have to break, because if you said, this is a really good race, and it'll definitely take some winning. So as you can see, the greyhounds are being loaded for our penultimate race of the night, this Open 550, and it'll take plenty of winning, there's no doubt about that. Last couple of greyhounds now being placed in traps, and they'll be ready to rock for our 11th race. And the hair running for 11th race of the night. In 1, No Green Dye, 2, Monbeg Zinzan, 3 is Cameco, 4 is Razzle Dazzle Peaky, 5 is Ballymac Cooper, and 6 is Clonfert Lorenzo. And Ballymac Cooper, he's away, okay, as is 3 Razzle Dazzle, or 4 Razzle Dazzle Peaky on Cameco, and as Cameco's going to lead into the opening bend. Cameco leads, Razzle Dazzle Peaky and Ballymac Cooper in a little bit of traffic problems, and that leaves Cameco with about a 5-length lead off the second bend from No Green Dye. Ballymac Cooper now is getting into gear. He's moved into 3rd, and he's about to challenge for 2nd, but he's a lot of work to do, because out front it's Cameco for Graham Holland, who's had a great night so far, and that night's about to get better, because Cameco is going to run out a very, very impressive winner of our 11th race, and does it in really good style, from No Green Dye in 2nd. Possibly it was Monbeg Zinzan for 3rd, but we'll wait for confirmation of that. But it was all about Cameco from the first bend onwards, and he's done it in a winning time of 29.99.
It's easy to speak in hindsight, but when you do look at this contest, Cameco was perhaps the most likely leader. He's the one dog you can confirm is an early pacer. Just watch him in the middle here, going up strongly. Razzle Dazzle Peaky trying to challenge, but 5 Ballymac Cooper. How often have we seen this in his career, that he does tend to edge in on the corners? You know, a dog that they did try briefly as an inside seed, but then checking wide. He's one of those dogs, when he's out he wants in, when he's in he wants out, and it was to cost him here. But as the out front, it was all about Cameco, and fair play. Graham Holland, another winner on the card. That's his 4th winner across the 2 stadiums. He's had a double in both Limerick and Shelbourne Park, and this fellow winning for Larry O'Rourke, one of the great supporters of the game. And it's always great to see Larry winning a race of this nature here at Shelbourne Park, and Cameco is going to be a really sporting greyhound for them for the remainder of the year. I've said that once or twice already tonight, but Cameco is one you can really hang your hat on. Meanwhile, at Limerick, the greyhounds will be parading very shortly indeed. He's 11 of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial, a very interesting affair where Pat Buckley has a very strong hand with Barney's Road and Bombardier. Over to Mal.
Pat Buckley trains Barney's Road for Pat McElligott of Listowel. Buckley looking for a double on the night. Trained by Mark Robinson. Number 2 is Dark Ava for Harry Sexton, Kildare. For his Any Sport Will Do syndicate, John Rainsford runs Adamant Best. Peter Cronin, a winner already tonight. His runner, trap 4, Bruno. 5, Pat Buckley's second runner here, Bombardier, the likely favourite. Trap 6, wearing the stripes, Malloch's Stormzy for Sean Drohan of Carrick-on-Shore.
Yes, indeed. Well, the first we are going to take a look at, again, my error, is Dark Ava Racing for Mark Robinson and Harry Sexton. I have written down trap 2, Barney's Road, but we'll go back to that again. That's my own fault. Again, I'll hold my hands, I'm fully responsible. But Dark Ava is useful enough in her own way. This is a daughter of Ballyann Sim and Katie Decision. She's won 3 times in her career. She'll need to step up and form. Just when we did miss out with Barney's Road making its racing debut for Pat Buckley. He thinks the world of this fellow, 28.45 and 28.50 in trials. Next up, we're going to take a look at trap 5, Bombardier. That's how I'm going to pronounce it anyway. Trained by Pat Buckley, a second runner for Pat. This fellow is immensely fast, the son of Ballymac Matt and Ballymac Effigy. Good starter, strong stayer. Perhaps gets caught out for tactical pace at this early stage in his career. I think he'll stay further, and I think he could really be a star over a bit further in time. His dam, Ballymac Effigy, is actually she's actually a daughter of Definite Opinion and Ballymac Razzle, a brilliant litter, so she herself is a sister to Small Mead, Ballymac and Speed and Malachy, amongst others. She's half sister to Ballymac Cashout, who we saw running earlier on. And more Malloch Stormzy out in trap 6. He good line of form last time out, 28.74 here at Limerick. He's clearly going the right way. Joe, it's an interesting affair, certainly with the unraced dog in trap 1, Barney's Road, perhaps playing a big part in proceedings.
Very, very interesting, Ian. And I cannot wait to see Barney's Road in action. Once owned by a friend of mine, Joe Keane from Kilkee. He sold his dog after a blistering trial in Tralee. Pat Buckley has trialled him since 28.45 he did after that. It's his first time out, and he will come on an awful lot from the run. But as you said, I know Pat thinks an awful lot of this fella. Look at Dark Ava, of course, the daughter of Ballyann Sim, 72 pounds. And of course, Amy Cleary, I was chatting to him earlier on today, he was saying Ballyann Sim is doing well at stud and has a few very, very pass pups out of him. Adam Best for John Rainsford, a real early pacer. Expect this fella to be in the shake-up early on, but doesn't stay that well. Maybe he might stay on better tonight, but Bombardier, look at the way he stayed in his victory last week, 28.58. I'd fancy him to probably go very, very close tonight. Pat Buckley is a very strong hand. Let's wait and see what happens. Over to you, Mal.
Green flag raised. The runners, Barney's Road, Dark Ava, Adamant Best, Bruno, Bombardier, Malloch's Stormzy. Away from traps, number 3 out well, which is Adamant Best in the white jacket from Barney's Road. 6 is in 3rd, Malloch's Stormzy. Bombardier is in 4th, our favourite. Up front, it's 3 in front. 1, 6, 5 and 4. Trap 3, Adamant Best, putting in a good run early on now. Malloch Stormzy is in 2nd. 1, Barney's Road is in 3rd. Bombardier is in difficulty. We're off the final bend, going towards the line. 6, 3. That's the 1st and 2nd. Bombardier may have well qualified. The time is 28.70.
Going on in this contest, don't know where we first start, but obviously the youngster in trap 1, Barney's Road, did make a reasonable start and is prominent enough into the corner, but it was trap 3 in the middle. Adamant Best, the dog with, well, fine early speed. He never seems to miss the kick. He really does fly into that opening turn and maintains a lead into the back straight over 1, Barney's Road, who at this point you'd have thought was going to play a big part in proceedings. But trap 6, Malloch Stormzy gets racing, and in behind you see trap 5, Bombardier. But just keep an eye on trap 4, Bruno, back in 5th spot at this point. He even clipped the fence there, it seems. Looks like he's never going to play a part in proceedings, but he flies on. But out front, it's trap 3, Adamant Best, but he's all out, and 6 comes through. Malloch Stormzy wins well from 3, Adamant Best, and 4, Bruno running a big race in 3rd spot to deny Bombardier an automatic qualifying spot. Joe, a lot going on there, but a good winner in the form of Sean Drohan's Malloch Stormzy, a dog going the right way.
Yeah, Ian, an awful lot going on there, but I had a chat with Sean Drohan last week after he won, and this dog did 28.74 last week, 28.70 again tonight, so very, very consistent performer for the man from Carrick-on-Shore, and a lot more to come from him. Adamant Best, look at the early pace of this dog, 4.12 to the first corner. It's very, very rare you see 4.15 broken in Limerick, but to do 4.12 to the first corner, it's a massive, massive advantage having that early pace and avoiding any congestion. And for the local man, John Rainsford, and I know for John this runner will mean an awful lot to him. He's a stalwart to Limerick track, and it was a very good performance here. We have Sean here with us for an interview again. 2 weeks in a row, Sean. We had a chat with you here last week after the great performance last week, 28.74. Another stellar performance tonight.
Yeah, ran well, Joe. Yeah, very happy with him. He's a pup that's improving away the whole time, and finishes very well. So yeah, great to be here. Great to be in the draw again for next week.
That strong running type of dog really, really suits Limerick, and I think, you know, he's not the biggest dog in the world, but still he has a real galloping stride, and you can just see the way he takes off down the back straight. He has that pace coming home.
That's right, yeah, nice handy dog, 68, 69 pound dog, and seems to be running Limerick well. Last week was his first week around here, so good to get a look around, and I was very impressed with him there tonight.
Yeah, and it was a tough heat coming in tonight. You know, you had Pat Buckley, 2 dogs who were well talked about. Did you fancy your chances tonight? Were you quietly confident?
Sure. If he qualified, that was going to be good enough for me tonight. Just to have a runner in this competition is great. So yeah, delighted to get the win.
Well done, Sean. We're absolutely delighted for you. Hope to catch up with you in the coming weeks ahead, and well done, and best of luck to you for the rest of the competition.
Okay, thanks very much, Joe.
Well done, Sean.
Yeah, Sean Drohan, they always have a good breed. They always have pacey types, and we've seen plenty of Malog's dogs over the years performing in fine style, and Malog Stormzy, the latest of them. I wonder, is he a big fan of Stormzy, or was it someone else that picked the name? Well, we might never know. Joe didn't ask him the obvious question. He only asked him about the dog. Anyway, we'll get on to that again. We might get in touch with Sean during the week and find out the really pertinent questions in hand. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, we are getting ready for the finale, a 5.25 yard contest, and a cracking 5.25 to finish with. It is an AAO, really top class contest. We'll take a look at the runners now before they go on parade. As you can see them in the background, well, Trap 1 getting the jump on them, so we might have a second or two. Here you see Foxwood Manny racing in the red jacket. Just off that screen there, Trap 5 Magical Cormy is a non-runner, so it is just a 5-runner affair. But Foxwood Manny in 18.57 in a recent trial here would suggest it can really run. It's won 5 of its 10, clearly one to keep an eye on. But so too the likes of Swords Maestro. I thought he would have gone for the Kirby. He looked a star in the Juvenile Classic, but they've chosen to come to Shelbourne Park route. Interesting to see. Rob, they're on parade.
Yeah, they are on parade indeed for our final race of the night, and as you said, it's arguably one of the best we've had here at Shelbourne on this Saturday evening. It's our 12th race, and the first on parade is Foxwood Manny for Aoife McGrath, a 5-time winner from 10 starts, has done runs of 28.45 here at Shelbourne, and a really good sprint at Mullingar as well, so one of the likely leaders you'd have thought early on. 2 is Razzle Dazzle Monarch for the Kildare Kilgolgan Syndicate. They're bidding for a little bit of compensation, trained by Neil O'Connell, a 12-time winner from 41 starts, this son of Makeshift. 3 is Swords Maestro for Barbara Lowndes in Swords, trained by Graham Holland, comes here after getting to the final of the Juvenile Classic down in Tralee, and a reproduction of this one's best form would give it a big chance on its Shelbourne debut. 4 is Massachusetts for Thomas Spurk, a 3-time winner from 17 starts, a son of Good News John. Trap 5, as we said, is an absentee, and 6 is the only female in the lineup, Right So Bell for Sean Corrigan and Aidan Denton. She's a really consistent daughter of Log Hill Blake. She's a 10-time winner from 39 starts. She's running the Cork Oaks, the Champion Bitch, and of course she was a semi-finalist at the Sporting Press Irish Oaks, and she's another from early stage. She could have a big say. So it's her 12th race. It's the Open 5.25, and it won't be long until they go to traps for our final race.
Yes, indeed. It won't be long before they go to traps for this finale. Indeed, Robert, thank you for that. We're going to take a quick look at our eye catchers for this 12th race. At this stage, I'm stumbling over my own words and punch drunk. But first up in Trap 1 is Foxwood Manny. This fellow, we did briefly reference him. He's a 21.18 estimated at Mullingar. That's a sensational run. 1876 at Galway. Also was a 28.45 here at Shelbourne Park, and his latest trial 18.57. He's got an absolutely gorgeous looking card. He's won 5 of his 10, and if he produces anything like his best form, he's a leading player. 2 is Razzle Dazzle Monarch, but the next we're going to take a look at is Swords Maestro for Graham Holland and Barbara Lowndes. This fellow really was a star through the Juvenile Classic. Looks a dog that's made for Shelbourne Park. It is a bit of a surprise to me that he wasn't in the Kirby, because this fellow certainly has the pace to challenge the very best in training. It'd be interesting to see how he takes to Shelbourne Park tonight. Might take a run or two to get to grips with the place, but by all accounts you'll see plenty of this fellow in the future. And they're the 2 dogs that we're going to take a look at in this 12th race. Robert, it's a great race to finish off proceedings here tonight. Swords Maestro, I suppose you, like me, would be surprised not to see him down in the Kirby, but cracking race. The couple we didn't mention, Massachusetts himself, a very strong runner for Thomas Burke, and Right So Bell, a very talented lady, and I know you'd know plenty about Right So Bell in 6.
Yeah, she's been very consistent, as you've said, and she's one. If she breaks, she's a big chance. She was second here at the Winter Festival, the big night back in December as well. It's a really good race. You mentioned Swords Maestro. The big worry for him is, we know he fires from halfway, but can he get a run early on? That's the big worry, because Foxwood Manny, we know that she can or he can fly to the bend. There's plenty of early pace here, so for Swords Maestro, he's going to need to get a clear run early on. And they're all in for our 12th race of the night. And the hare running for race 12, and 1 Foxwood Manny, 2 is Razzle Dazzle Monarch, 3 is Swords Maestro, 4 is Massachusetts, and 6 is Right So Bell. And away they go. It's a fairly level break. On the middle, it's Swords Maestro, and Swords Maestro is going to lead into the opening 2 bends, and has now got a big advantage, because we know he flies from halfway. So Swords Maestro, this is where he opens up, and he opens up from 2. That's Razzle Dazzle Monarch. Then we got Massachusetts, Foxwood Manny, and Right So Bell. But into the 3rd bend, and it's Swords Maestro who's got a commanding advantage, and barring accidents, it's only going to be a matter of how far for Swords Maestro, and Swords Maestro is going to make it 5th time lucky and give Graham Holland another winner on this Saturday night. 2nd is Razzle Dazzle Monarch from 4 Massachusetts, and the winning time, we've saved the best to last here at Shelbourne, because Swords Maestro has done it in a winning time of 28.46.
Yes, indeed. I'm not one for hyperbole normally, and I wouldn't like to exaggerate, but that was his first career success, and you know what? If I was to get a bit of 100-1 for the Irish Derby, I think I might just take a bit of it, because that was a fine display by a greyhound with a very bright future. He'll only improve for the 550 run-up, going on that evidence. He's charging on down the back straight, but there's still points where you go, he doesn't know what he's doing, or he looks a bit lost in himself. Even at this point, he's not the most fluent. I can tell you one thing, this fellow has an engine, and he's a greyhound to look forward to. If Barbara and Leonard are watching, the lucky owners, I'll gladly buy a half share for a couple of grand off you. That is a serious greyhound. Swords Maestro. Robert, hard not to be impressed with this fellow. That was pretty emphatic.
Yeah, you've pretty much said, I think, what we're all thinking. We were just a little bit worried. If you look at his form in Tralee, he was getting crowding early, but I suppose it just opened up nicely. Nothing really hit the lids, and once he got a little bit of daylight, he really took off heading into the opening bend, and once he led off the 2nd bend, it was only a matter of how far. And as you said, he's only having his 5th run, so he was just maybe having a little bit of look around into the 3rd bend, but he was not stopping. And to do 28.46 on tonight's conditions, as you said, this is a greyhound to look forward to, and they're going to have plenty of big days with this lad.
Yeah, they certainly are, Rob. Stay with us. Off to Limerick. Yeah, apologies, just a problem there with Mal, but I'll bring you through the remainder. Droopy's fittest in trap 4. Dives for the inside this one. A son of Law Hill Blake and Droopy Saga Trimber, Robert Gleeson for Killian Cronin and Kevin Barry.
Hope with the Step Into My Office syndicate.
Lochbray. and boom time, and complete the lineup in trap 6. A very progressive tracker called Viper's Buzz, owned by Kieran Hicks, a son of Good News and JT Osprey. Very impressive last time out at Shelbourne Park. 3 we missed in 1 Burgess Glengar for Sheila Spillane, JJ Fennelly, 2 Deadly Tornado for Cal Ramsbottom and Gary Hannon, and 3 Tyrap Luke for David Carroll. Cracking race to look forward to. It's Heat 12 of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. Of course, we've got 2 races left from Limerick. We'll have a little bit of time between the last 2 heats to discuss what we've seen thus far, to perhaps show a bit more analysis, have a bit more chat with the likes of Joe and Robert as we look back on what's been a tremendous night's action down at Limerick. And the first of the eye catchers in this contest I'm going to look at is Burgess Glengar, owned by Sheila Spillane and JJ Fennelly. They've had countless superstars through their hands in recent years, and this fellow is very strong indeed. He's yet to win a race, but he really did catch my eye, especially in the first and second round of the Juvenile Classic, where he was a semi-finalist. He's particularly strong. Ignore his latest trial. I've no doubt he'll do considerably faster. Next we're going to take a look at is Trap 4, Droopy's Fittest. This fellow trained by Robert Gleeson, the son of Law Hill Blake. He's got massive pace, a real eye-catcher in a couple of the rounds of the Rural Hawaii. It stood unraced at Clonmel. He was a finalist in that competition. He's mad for the fence, so don't be surprised to see this fellow diving inwards in the early yards. If he misses the kick, he'll go up behind them. If he dives out in front, he'll go straight to the rails. I'd be worried for the likes of 2 and 3. And Trap 5 is Broke with Hope. This fellow, a strong runner, a big run at Youghal on February 3rd when leading early to win in 29.07, estimated 28.67. When you're doing that type of run around Youghal, as Barry Trake will testify, you can really run. Broke with Hope, talented tracker, and very well drawn with Trap 4, Droopy's Fittest, likely to dive inwards. We haven't mentioned Viper's Buzz. He's also well drawn in the stripes. Joe, do you have an angle on this one for us?
Well, Ian, if I was an observer who would go for greyhounds or horses by names, Trap 5 is the one I would love. Broke with Hope, I love that name. I'm a hopeful, positive person, so that's why I would pick him. Not to mention the 28.67 performance Broke with Hope did around Youghal. And everyone knows if you can do clock around Youghal, you can do it anywhere in the country. So definitely one to watch, Broke with Hope. Burgess Glengar, powerful connections, of course, JJ Fennelly and Sheila Spillane. They came here a few years ago with Burgess Bucks, vying for favouritism for the competition at the time. And I'm sure they wouldn't travel here unless they thought an awful lot of this fella. As you said, not the fastest of trials the last time around in 29.20, but impressive performances in Tralee prior to that trial, and you can expect an awful lot more. Carl Ramsbottom from Trap 2 looking for the double with Deadly Tornado and has every chance of doing so. Tyrap Luke for the Carl's Brewery local to the track. It would be great to see that local runner do well here. Over to you, Mel.
This the penultimate heat of the Kirby. The runners from the inside: Burgess Glencar, Deadly Tornado, Tyrap Luke, Droopy's Fittest, Broke with Hope, Viper's Buzz. Away they go. Number 5 is Broke with Hope, going okay on the inside. Droopy's Fittest, 4, 5 and 6 onto the second, and Droopy's Fittest is there for Robert Gleeson in front of Viper's Buzz. In third, Trap 4, Broke with Hope. We're moving now towards the second bend from the finish in the 12th heat of the Con Annie Kirby. In front, Trap 4, Droopy's Fittest, 6, Viper's Buzz. We're off the final bend, going to the line. 4 up to win from 6, 5 qualifies in third. Droopy's Fittest. The time here is 28.35.
Yes, indeed. Well, Robert Gleeson, as I said earlier on, did win the last Con Annie Kirby Memorial run in 2014, and this time he has a real live contender again with Droopy's Fittest. I told you he'd dive for the fence. Didn't initially dive for the fence, but once he got any sort of daylight, he was straight across and was clearing the bend. He was always going to take some stopping, but Kieran Hicks can be really proud of his Viper's Buzz in second spot. This is a greyhound that's going places. He's progressing every time he goes to the track, and a fine display in defeat. But Droopy's Fittest, once this fellow went to the front, he was always going to be very hard to beat. A son of Law Hill Blake and Droopy Saga. Droopy Saga, of course, a really top-class performer herself, and this fellow's sister, Droopy's Joyful, was one of the stars of the unraced stake at Newbridge, so clearly a very talented family indeed. But Robert Gleeson, Killian Cronin and Kevin Barry have one to look forward to there with Droopy's Fittest, a really fast greyhound. But remember, it is mad for the fence. Big run again in second spot by Viper's Buzz. Joe, a very impressive display by both the winner and, of course, the runner-up.
Yeah, Ian, look at the clock. He did 28.35. Now, as we know, the track hasn't been very, very fast in the latter races tonight, so I would consider that 28.35 to be a very, very, very positive run from Droopy's fittest. Robert Gleeson, the trainer, well, we know what he can do. He won the Derby with Slippery Robert all them years ago. And who won the last Con Kirby? Was Robert Gleeson with toolmaker Josie. Wasn't really fancied on the night, but he had him primed, and I'm sure Robert will have this fella primed for the remaining rounds of this year's event. Droopy's fittest, of course, son of Droopy Saga. Very, very well bred. 28.77 trial last time around Shelbourne, and I was wondering about this dog before tonight. It was happened on the 20th of March, so I presumed he didn't have much time to give him a trial around Limerick. So it looks like it might have been his... Well, I know he ran the previous run around Limerick, but didn't run too well before that. But exceptionally good performance tonight. Kieran Hicks, of course, with Viper's Buzz, did a good, exceptionally good run in Shelbourne in 29.81. Looks to be a strong stayer and was staying on strong from the outside. And Limerick, of course, is a track that the stayers really, really suit. And Broke with Hope ran with considerable respect. Of course, that Yall form really standing up in Limerick, and ran on very, very respectfully as well. But a lot of eye-catching performances in that heat.
Yeah, and see, plenty of eye-catching performances, both at Limerick and Shelbourne Park. Robert, I'm going to join you here at Shelbourne Park for a moment or two. We're not going to let you off in the car just yet. We have another race at Limerick, and I know you're not in a rush. You want to chat. Great night's racing here at Shelbourne Park. Obviously, a low-key affair, really. We have the Shelbourne 600 starting next week, but some fine displays none the same, and a treble for Graham Holland on the night, including a fantastic double with Cameco and, of course, Swords Maestro. Swords Maestro, the highlight?
Yeah, I think there was two highlights. You know, when you're watching a race, and there were two brilliant times on a slow night, but there's times when greyhounds visually impress you, and I think the two tonight, other than Swords Maestro, and you said it yourself in that final race, but Cabra Blitz as well. It was a really, really good race. There was 4 really good bitches in that, and she's absolutely annihilated them. She's done it as well on her first start around Shelbourne, and she could be one. We've seen Ballymac Ariel and Billy's Diva and really good bitches in Shelbourne over the last 6 months, but I think we might have seen a new shining light up here tonight, and Cabra Blitz, no doubt, they're up here to get an early look at Shelbourne before the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. She was the one that really took my eye, but I think you're right. Swords Maestro, Graham Holland, he can't do much wrong, and there's a reason he came to Shelbourne tonight and he didn't go down to Limerick. He might have his eye on something with this lad coming up.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the multiple Derby-winning trainer Graham Holland does have his eye, but we have another Derby-winning trainer down at Limerick with Joe.
Great race, isn't it?
Yes, of course, the Derby winning trainer Robert Gleeson. Robert, in 2019, I remember the scenes here with toolmaker Josie. You are the reigning Con Kirby Memorial champion. Not going to be scenes like that this year, considering there's going to be no one here. But how much of a chance do you think this fella has going all the way after that performance?
He's a very fast dog. He ran in Clonmel. The very first race he ran, he charged the traps, and his braking wasn't like what it can be. In his trials before, he ran in Clonmel, but he won the second night, I think, in Clonmel, and he bet a real good field of dogs, 28.60. So I'll tell you the truth, he's a very fast dog if he can get his braking back.
I thought it was interesting, the clock you done tonight, Robert, is 28.35. The previous few races haven't been next or near that, so it was probably one of the standout performances of the night. Has he done that in trials? Were you expecting that kind of clock to come out to him tonight?
Well, before he ever raced, he went into Newbridge and then 17.43 for the sprint. So he can do it, like, you know, but when he happened in Clonmel, it knocked his confidence. But we gave him a try last week in Shelbourne, just a solo trial, because he ran here the 2 weeks before and he got trouble, so we said we just switch him and give him a solo trial, and it looked like a crowned him, you know what I mean? But no, he's a fat and he's mad for the rails, so I was a bit afraid out of top 4 because he'd be kind of. But what I liked about him tonight was he broke kind of well enough, but he drove up to the bend, and you have a chance when he's, you know what I mean, when you have a dog driving into the corners. So look, we're there.
Robert, tell us about the owners, Killian Cronin and Kevin Barry.
Yeah, Killian and Kevin, they're from Yall, and two great lads. I have a few dogs for them, so just hoping that they have a bit of luck with this. They had Lemon Ozzy last year and he won the Night of Stars, so and there's actually another fella, Irvin Hodney, he's from Edenderry in County Offaly, so he'll be tuning in, I'd say, tonight looking at it.
Well, Robert, well done. You're the reigning Kirby champion, and you have a very, very good chance of doing a quick double in 2021 with Droopy's Fittest. Best of luck to you for the remainder of the competition, and well done.
Thanks very much,
great
Joe.
Performance.
Thanks,
Robert.
Yeah. you can certainly tell that Robert fancies Droopy's Fittest. He really is a professional tracker, a dog with real ability, and certainly if he does get a draw closer to that fence, well, he's going to be a big player. I dare say even if he gets a draw out a bit wider, he can still play a big part in proceedings, because he didn't dive straight in. He waited for the gap and then moved across, and I'll be looking forward to seeing Droopy's Fittest in action in the second round of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. And so too, of course, may the GA club that have drawn Droopy's Fittest. And of course there are many watching on from the various GA clubs throughout Limerick who are going to be the beneficiaries of some well needed cash in these hard times. Of course, nobody's entering their clubhouses and nobody's spending money in the GA clubs of Limerick, but it's great to see so many people from the Limerick GA clubs watching on, and hopefully, well, their dogs will get to the decider and give them a chance of winning that €10,000 winner's prize. Of course, we have no dogs out of the kennels at Limerick just yet, but we have the 13th race and final race to look forward to of 25. The time has flown in. I know I will take a breath after this, have a cup of tea, maybe an ale biscuit, because it's been a long night, a lot of chatting, but we have seen some brilliant performances. And when top-class racing is happening, well, it makes the night go that bit quicker. I'm sure Joe, who's been doing sterling work down in Limerick, and our Limerick Lothario is on the end of the line. Joe, great night's racing thus far. I'm sure you're enjoying it. Hopefully you're getting plenty of phone numbers. That was your biggest concern earlier on.
Yeah, Ian, fantastic night's race, and just it was great to see Robert Gleeson back in. Of course, wonderful scenes when his toolmaker Josie won a couple of years ago. It'd be great to see him back in the winner's enclosure with this dog. He was very, very sweet in him, and even after the interview, he really, really thinks an awful lot of this fella. He was 66-1 at the start of the week with Boyle Sports. I'm kind of sorry now I didn't back him after that performance. He looks like he's going to go a long way. And of course, as you mentioned, the GA clubs. He runs for St. Kieran's GA, a wonderful GA club out in West Limerick. I was talking to two St. Kieran's stalwarts today, John Graney and Donald Bell from St. Kieran's, and they are very, very glad to have this fella. When they heard that the trainer had won the competition before, they were exceptionally happy to get him. It's been a wonderful night's action. A lot of surprises along the way, a lot of dogs, probably long odds dogs for their heats that we weren't expecting them to win, but it just shows you for greyhound racing, that's the thrill of it. That's what we come for. If everything was going to happen as we expect, well, it wouldn't be all that exciting, but the racing tonight has been absolutely brilliant. I must say a massive mention to the track maintenance team here at Limerick. Tommy Bolton and Andrew and Pat, with the job they've done here is absolutely superb. The track has been super safe, very, very well looked after. Every dog has come off here tonight having run well, safe and sound, and in fairness there must be great mention given to them, Ian. But all in all, a wonderful night's racing thus far tonight, Ian.
Say congratulations to Joe. His first time really on camera, and I think he's done great work tonight at Limerick. It's never easy to get in camera for the first time, but I think he's handled it really well, and no doubt he'll go on to bigger and better things. He'll be thinking about us in the future when he's hosting the likes of The Voice or something like that, I'm sure. We're moving on to the last race in the card here at Limerick. Of course, I'm not here at Limerick. I'm here at Shelbourne Park, but there you can see them. They are going to be on parade very shortly indeed. 13 heats later, and a cracking contest to look forward to. Jack's Little Thing for Graham Holland, who's had such a wonderful night. Well, this fellow won the Rural Hawaii. It stood unraced. We've seen so many dogs from that competition running well here tonight, and I'm fairly certain that Jack's Little King will do so again for the Pillar Syndicate. But some really promising types here. May haven't proven it just yet, but there's certainly better to come from a number of them. Mallogs Marley, of course, won his first 3 around Clonmel, including a 28.38 clock. If he produced that sort of form, he would be a big player. That's another one for Graham Holland, of course. Scarty Yank, most impressive last week, was led early but came charging back into the third bend and went on to win in 28.55. Ballyhimmican Boy, a third runner for Graham Holland, some promising form in his card. And Sonic Sunset for Pat Guilfoyle. This fellow, well, Pat never comes to Limerick with a slow one. You can be sure this one can run. On to Mal for Heat 13.
The first of the 6 runners, Mind How You Go, is from Miss Cortland McGarry of Ballymoney, County Antrim. Graham Holland looking for a 3-timer tonight with the KDB Syndicate. He has Mallogs Marley. The second of a number of runners in this race, Graham Holland has the favourite Jack's Little Thing for the Pillar Syndicate. In the black, it's Scarty Yank, jointly owned by Patrick Reardon and Gary Deneen of Scarta Glen. For the Riverside Kennels, Ballyhimpkin Boy for the Duns of Ladiesbridge, Cork. Pat Gilfoyle won the first heat tonight, looking to conclude with a second winner tonight. His runner is Salmic Sunset.
Yes, indeed, we've seen the dogs go through the parade for Heat 13 at Limerick. 12 tremendous heat winners to look back on. Explosive Boy, Racket Hull, Leo, Deadly Destroyer, Sing Along Sally, Romeo Magico, Vigorous Buck, Vallegro, Fabus Azuri, All About Ted. Hello Mikey, Malog Stormsy and Droopy's Fittest. I wonder what the 13th will be. They're going behind traps. We'll go briefly through my three. First up we're going to take a look at is Malog's Marley. I told you he's 28-38 in his card at Clonmel. Not quite in that sort of form of late, but can really run. Moving on to the second of our runners, Jack's Little Thing, racing from trap 3, a dog that perhaps is screaming out for the likes of Limerick or Shelbourne Park. A real strong runner, looks a real 550-yard greyhound, bred in the purple, son of Droopy Sydney out of Limini. I expect this fellow to play a big part in proceedings both here and in the competition if all things go well for him. And the last we're going to take a look at is Scarty Yank, 28.55, last time at Limerick. A strong runner, can come away from traps but is really strong. Motors down into the third bend. Joe, I'm sure you were impressed with Scarty Yank last week. I know you keep an eye on the splits. 124, that'll see him challenging in the early yards, no doubt about it.
Yes, Ian, 100%. Well, to do 124 in Limerick, you're going to be very, very prominent to the first bend, and it's a massive advantage to be able to get to the first bend in a prominent position, avoiding congestion. And if Scarty Yank can repeat that, then he's definitely going to be vying for the front-running position approaching the first bend. As you said, Jack's Little Thing, extremely, extremely impressive down in Clonmel. Lit up the track down there, and I know the O'Sheas are involved in that. Larry and Jack, named after Jack, of course, a wonderful young man involved in the sport. Mind who you go, of course, for the Antrim Raiders coming down there, a long, long way to travel. And Paddy Gilfoyle in trap 6. It's a very, very open heat. Best luck to all runners, and over to you, Mal.
1 Mind How You Go, 2 Mallox Marley, 3 Jack's Little Thing, 4 Scarty Yank, Ballyhimpkin Boy and Salmic Sunset. Away from traps in the finale, 6 near side, Sunset going okay, Jack's Little Thing prominent as well. To the second turn, spot of trouble, 3-1-6 is the order up front. Jack's Little Thing now moving clear by maybe 5 to 6 lengths on 2 Mallox Marley as they go through the closing couple of turns. In the final heat in round 1 of the Kirby for 2021, Jack's Little Thing going merrily towards the winning line. It's 3 to win. 4 is Scarty Yank in second. The time is 28.71. A 3-timer on the night for Graham Holland.
Yes, indeed. Well, we can show you a replay. Trap 6, Salmic Sunset did get up after that bad-looking fall off the second bend, but he is fine, happy out in himself. And out front, you see Jack's Little Thing making a good start. Didn't quite clear the corner 1. Mind How You Go, showing real sprinting pace up into the corner. That's not surprising looking at his trials. 6 took a fall there. It all got very tight. Jack's Little Thing, though, rode the bump well and recovered quickly. Went to the front, off the second bend, charge clear in fantastic fashion. 4, Scarty Yank taking a bump around the bottom 2 bends as he was challenging for second spot, but it was all about Jack's Little Thing. He does 28.71. He lost ground around those opening 2 bends. That was impressive by a dog that really does want a little bit further, but Mind How You Go nearly caused him a bit of harm on the opening corner. But Jack's Little Thing kept his balance, showed a lot of pace, a lot of talent. Joe, a fine display by the winner, Jack's Little Thing. He had to recover well.
Brilliant displaying by Jack's Little Thing, and I must mention Jack's Little Thing is owned after Jack O'Shea, an absolute legend of a young man. I know himself and his dad Larry are probably tuning in tonight, legends of the sport, and there's a big syndicate involved in that dog, and he's going to go on and do great things. To do 28.71 after the congestion that he encountered around those opening bends suggests that this dog has a lot more in the tank. And as we've seen from his victory in the Clonmel unraced, it was a fantastic performance down there, and it was a fantastic performance tonight. Scarty Yank, as you mentioned beforehand, had done 124, had that good early, was involved in the trouble earlier on in the race, but ran on exceptionally well to finish second. And Mallogs Marley, of course, for Graham Holland. Graham Holland had 2 out of the first 3 in this heat. Mallogs Marley finishing third as well. It was a very, very slick performance by Jack Littleton. Of course, a bit of congestion, and as you already mentioned, Ian, 6 was up and running, and as you said, happy in himself, and he walking over by the pickup there, he looks pretty good. We have Timmy Holland again for round 3. Over to you, Timmy. Timmy, Ian reckons I've you scared off, but I'd say we're becoming good buddies by the end of the night. That was a very slick performance for a great syndicate.
Yeah, no, he ran well. I thought he was going to get done there at the end, but he seemed to drive around it well, and they're a good bunch of lads, so delighted to get him through, and that he probably needed the race, get over the Kennan and that.
Because he showed exceptional promise in Clonmel when he won, was victorious there in 28.52 in the final.
Yeah, no, he ran really well in Clonmel. He was probably a bit green going into it, and that probably needed to learn how to run with other dogs. So, no, he looks to be a really nice dog. He's an August 19 pup, so he's very, very young, and probably an awful lot more to come from him. Yeah, he's very young. But he's a nice dog. I think he can go well in it. He seems to be showing a nice bit of early in that. And I know Larry and Jack O'Shea involved in this. There's a few more involved in this. Larry, Jack, Noel and David Byrne are involved in it as well. I'm sure they're all tuning in tonight, happy with the run. All there together. And your dog that came third, Mallox Marley. Give a mention to him as well. He came third and ran on. He ran on well. I don't really know what happened to him around the bend and that. There was a bit of trouble in that. I think his brother might have won earlier. Did he, or qualifier? No, it's great for the lads for him to get through. He probably needed another look around in that. So wonderful to see Timmy Holland in the winners' enclosure 3 times tonight. I'm sure it won't be your last time in front of that Talking Dogs sign. Well done tonight, and well done to all the Holland team, and looking forward to having you back here soon again. Thanks, Joe. Thanks. Well done, Timmy. Thanks.
Well, we don't have long, folks. It's nothing more to say except for thank you for joining us on this first episode of Talking Dogs. We've really enjoyed it. I'll be talking dogs on Monday. Barry Drake will be talking dogs in this podcast on Thursday. On track with Rory on the weekend. It was great to have you. That's us for tonight. Thanks to Joe. Thanks to Robert. That's it for myself. Good luck. We'll see you next week.